FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Clippers, Kings, and Angels.
One more from down south for the Halos before they head north of the border for a 4th of July weekend. As we welcome you to Angels Live, presented by Spectrum here on FanDuel Sports Network. Series finale tonight from Truist Park in Atlanta against the Braves. And lots to talk about heading into tonight's rubber match against the Braves. Here's what's coming up on the big pregame show. Adell has been on a tear, and he's continued to roll that into the month of July. His 13-game hitting streak on the line tonight. Plus, a great return back to Atlanta for Jorge Soler, a milestone. Big moment for Soler in that home run last night. Plus, Jose Soriano on the mound in the finale tonight. He's been a road warrior, and he's looking for a bounce back tonight against the Braves. As we welcome you inside Truist Park tonight alongside Mark Gubazat, Erica Weston with you. Gooby, no question, last night was a very tough one for the Angels, but more
Eric, exactly right. Yes, it was a tough one. It got away late, just like the Halos were able to win the game. Won late in that game with all the runs in the 8th inning. So a chance to win this series against the Atlanta Braves here in this ballpark. They have not done that in this new ballpark. Yes, they have struggled, the Braves, this season, but they're still a team that's been in the playoffs, it seems like, for an eternity. So to win a series here before you go north of the border, Toronto, a team you're battling for the wild card right now, it's very important to be able to win the series here against the Braves. Yeah,
need some momentum before you go up to Toronto. They have been playing so well, even going back more than a month. But again, tough game last night, tough news with Christian Moore. The Angels did place him on the 10-day injured list with a left thumb sprain, Gooby, and that you just hate to see that for Simo because he felt like he was really finding a groove.
He was. I mean, he's played some really good defense. I mean, he's been so clutch for the team, hitting just under 400 in late close situations, including 3 home runs and those 6 RBIs. So you wanted him up there in the big moments. For a kid, that's really impressive. But I was really, really impressed by how good his defense is, his instincts on the field. 2 really good at-bats last night where he worked some walks, so there's patience at the plate. So it's really tough to see him not out there right away because he's getting better and better and have a better idea what the pitchers are trying to do against him.
Well, he's going to try to fight and get out there as soon as possible. The good news, though, he did avoid having any sort of surgery. We spoke with Simo ahead of today's game about his thumb injury.
Pretty good sprain in the left thumb, and obviously, trying to make a play up the middle on that ball. Kind of, fell over the thumb a little bit and kind of rolled the wrist a little bit. So, but yeah, just a pretty good sprain.
How's it feeling right now?
Pretty sore. We're gonna get some more treatment on it today, tomorrow, and keep on it. Just trying to get back out there.
Yeah. What does the timetable look like?
I think it's pretty much up to my body and how it heals itself. I'm just gonna see. Hopefully I can be out there in 2 weeks. That's kind of my thing. But if I can get out there quicker, obviously we can do some things. With the glove, maybe putting something in there or something. But we'll figure it out. But I'm hoping a week or 2.
Sprain sounds better than like tears or ligament things or anything that needs surgery. So are you a little relieved in that?
100%. Yeah, that was great news to hear. And the quicker I can get back out there, out there with these guys, that's definitely what I want to do. And I just want to help the team win, So it was definitely a relief.
Yeah, just tough to see that. Here's a look back at that play in the 6th inning last night. He ends up getting injured, leaving the game, and that's when the game kind of unraveled. Just a tough play falling on that glove.
Yeah, well, we saw that from the angle. Even up in our booth last night, you think, uh-oh, that might be something that's going to be very difficult for him to be able to get bounced back. For a second there, it looked like he was going to try to stay in the game. But just going back to what he was talking about, Eric, in the treatment, the stuff, the advances they have right now to be able to heal and get everything back as quick as possible is so much better than it was even 10, 15 years ago. So maybe there's a good chance that maybe in a few weeks he'll be back out there because he wants to play so badly to get this team in position to make that run at the wild card or maybe even division, depending on how things go.
Well, it looked like he was trying to stay in. He was trying to stay in. Yeah. We did ask him that later in the interview. He was certainly trying to effort to stay in the game. Just didn't feel right with that glove on. Let's take a look at the Angels lineup tonight in the series finale. No Simo. So instead, we've got a major league debut tonight. Chad Stevens gets the call. More on him throughout the night, Gooby, but he's getting the start at second base, and Logan O'Hoppe doing the catching.
I mean, he had some really good numbers down in AAA for Chad Stevens. you know I got to be rooting for him, and named Chad, right? That's
for
sure.
Of course.
Being my son's name, but I think he's going to have a chance to be nice and relaxed. I saw him working some early workout with Ryan Goins, just getting comfortable. But I'm looking at this lineup right here, and I'm still saying what I thought earlier today. Nolan Shawnawell, I think, is going to catch one of these changeups or breakup balls from Elder and hit one out of the ballpark.
Ruby is calling his shot, Nolan Shawnawell. Well, you can also talk about somebody who's feeling relaxed. That would be Joe Adell. I think he feels pretty relaxed out there because he's just continuing to hit the ball everywhere, continuing to deliver a 13-game hit streak extended in the game last night.
Erica, we seem to be talking about him every night, saying, oh, yeah, he's hitting fastballs now, he's hitting breakup balls, he's hitting all-speed pitches. But he's been up there in big spots lately, too, and he's really come through for the club. Over this 13-game hitting streak, he's hitting 340 with all those bombs. He's got 5 bombs during this stretch, and he's slugging where he's at just under 700. So he's doing everything exceptionally well at the plate. The thing I love about him, he's walking more, he's striking out less, he's bringing pitches in the strike zone, and now he's covering fastballs really, really effectively because they're throwing a lot more fastballs to him.
Certainly a breakout compared to the first 25 games of the season, Gooby. Last 53, 16 home runs, OPS at 941, and the walks, you love to see the walk rate go up.
Yeah, you almost see double the amount of walks and the strikeout percentage down. So in other words, he's not going after pitches out of the strike zone, the breakup balls, the fastball above the zone. He's going and hitting pitches in his zone. It's not easy to do that for a veteran hitter or a younger hitter, but he's been around long enough now. He knows how to be successful. He's got to bring those pitches in his zone. He's a lot like Mike Trout. He's really good at lower third, middle to lower third of the strike zone. And when a pitcher throws that ball in that zone, it's going to be hit hard.
Well, he was responsible for driving in the first 2 runs for the Angels last night. Let's see what he's got in store tonight in the finale against the Braves. We thought there was a chance maybe with the return to Atlanta for Jorge Soler coming off the injured list on Tuesday. Perhaps it would unlock something, but such a cool kind of complete moment for Soler, hitting his 200th career home run in a ballpark he's very familiar with.
And that baseball was a Soler smash. That ball was 112 off the bat, went 448 feet. His 200th career home run, the perfect spot for him to get to that mark. I don't even know if that baseball has landed right yet. I don't know if he's even found that baseball because it hasn't landed yet. But even the swing he had the night before, that RBI double to right center field, told you and showed you that maybe the timing's getting together, missing all the time that he did on the IL coming back. Seems to be that lower half of his body is a little bit stronger, a little quicker. That's why you see that power.
Yeah, maybe it was unlocking something. He's healthy now, and he's feeling better at the plate. As far as the Braves are concerned, though, Gooby, they went 21 straight innings without scoring a run until that 6th inning last night. And Ryan Zefferjohn's certainly going to be looking for a bounce back whenever he gets back out there, but it was Sean Murphy giving the Braves the lead on 1 pitch.
And that's one of those things where you think and look at hitters like Sean Murphy, a guy that really goes and attacks the first pitch quite a bit, and he did so on that cutter there. But Zefferjon, the same thing with Matt Olson. He, a left-handed hitter, hits pitches that are elevated very, very well, which is surprising. Most times lefty, you think guys lower third. So they came out swinging the bats. There was a lot of power there. Profar came back. He really got that whole inning started with a base hit with 2 outs against Kikuchi. It ended up being that big 7-run inning. So he swung the bat well. They expected him to do that, but then he got, suspended for PEDs. But that lineup still, and you're going to see, you don't even have to look at the lineup. Every day it's the same lineup for the Braves, and these guys play every day.
Yeah, that's what makes them so great. And for whatever reason, they just haven't been able to put it all together. But Jurickson Profar also hit his first home run of the season last night. But again, that top four in the... Do we have a visitor? Hi, Blooper.
Blooper's back.
Oh, my gosh, look. It's a Wash bobblehead. Come closer,
Oh, that's
Blooper.
awesome.
Look at that. We got a Ron Washington
That is so
bobblehead.
cool.
Oh, we miss you, Wash. Wish you were here with us. Hope you're feeling well. Thanks, Blooper, for bringing that over. All love. Oh, that's amazing. He actually brought some love to the show rather than some funny business. We appreciate that.
So
yeah,
good. And he had the arm moving to wave home the runners.
That's a bonus. I didn't even notice that part on the bobblehead. That's tremendous.
Well, thank you, Blooper.
If that goes missing, don't look at us. Yeah, don't look. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. That's amazing.
Yes.
You can do the show, the rest of the show on your own, because I'm going to go steal that Wash bobblehead.
Yes, you got to.
That was beautiful. All right, stick with us. More to come as we get you ready for first pitch tonight from Truist Park. The All-Star starters were selected last night. Who might be up for consideration for the Halos to head back here in 2 weeks at the All-Star game? We'll take a look at some worthy candidates next.
At MLBshop.com, you can get all the latest officially licensed merchandise for you and your family. But if you really want to level up your game, you can grab something for your dog walker, your Pilates instructor, your swim coach, your neighbor, your accountant, your gardener, your best friend, your bandmate, your boss, your kid's teacher, your mailman. Visit MLBshop.com and stock up on officially licensed on-field merchandise from your favorite teams.
Today.
Angels Live on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. How about those two jerseys? And Mike Trout.
There's some talent in there. Maybe they might be hanging out in Cooperstown somewhere down the road.
Wouldn't be surprised. Ronald Acuna will be calling his home ballpark home for the All-Star game, which will be back here at Truist Park in less than 2 weeks. The starters were announced yesterday. Gooby, none from the Angels as far as the starter selection, but somebody's going to come when they're announced on Sunday. Let's take a look at the American League All-Star starter selections. Cal Raleigh gets the nod behind the plate. It's the A's Jacob Wilson who gets the start, the rookie at shortstop.
I know over Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, everyone knows Bobby Witt Jr., but Jacob Wilson has been unbelievable for the Athletics. And, you know, Ramirez, he's one of the best players in the game, period. And we always say, well, nobody really says a lot about him, but you know, everyone says a lot about him now. He's that good of a player. Vlad Jr. over there at first base, but Raleigh behind the plate, though, and Aaron Judge. You talk about strong up the middle. That's really strong up the middle. A lot of power.
That's some power. Cal Raleigh also participating in the Home Run Derby on a Monday night of All-Star Week as well. How about the National League All-Star starters? Good luck if you're a pitcher going against the National League. That's tough.
Yeah, you know, we always talk about how good and how much better and more talented the American League was for years, but I think it's kind of flipped around a little bit. That lineup for the National League right now, if you're a pitcher, you're hoping that game is at the right time when they're not seeing the baseball well down here, but I think it might be a tough task again. There's a lot of power throughout. You got Shohei Ohtani DHing, Will Smith, Machado at third base. Their outfield is unbelievable. Crow Armstrong, Acuna is going to get a start. Kyle Tucker. We never can avoid Kyle Tucker, can we?
King Tuck. No, you can't. You just can never avoid him. Pete Crow Armstrong, what a breakout season for him from Sherman Oaks, California. Great to see Ronald Acuna there as well. So no halos as far as the starters go, but we know there'll be at least one Angel heading back here to Truist Park in about a week and a half, Gooby. So let's mull over some possible candidates. And youth is certainly making a push to be in the All-Star game as far as some of these young players are concerned.
His numbers have been unbelievable. He's pitched so well this entire season, but you know, I mean, there's so many in the All-Star game. Zach Neto with his numbers and speed, his defense. Nolan Shawnuel. I mean, he's put together an amazing season. On-base percentage, clutch hits for him. And I love the fact is he hits the ball the all-field so well. And his power is coming together. The exit velocity consistently coming together for him. And then I think there's a really a good chance, especially that catching position for Logan O'Hammered. We need to see it, so say some more O'Hammered shots for him as he's getting closer and closer, potentially get to 20 home runs before the All-Star break. What about Joe Adell, though, Eric?
I know.
Unreal.
If he has another couple of days like he's had going into July, Gooby, would not be surprised to see the Joe show back here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, those numbers, they're unreal what he's doing right now. And a lot of times we get caught up in batting averages. Even Taylor Ward, for me, his number, he's got 41 extra base hits, 20 home runs, 20 doubles, and a triple, 57 RBIs. Yes, the batting average is not 300. It's in the low 220 area, but there's the guys with some good power numbers. That's what everyone rates players on nowadays, is power numbers.
All right, how about some pitching possible prospects as far as the Angels All-Star selections are concerned? Two guys that joined the Angels this offseason, Yusei Kikuchi, Kenley Jansen. You could easily pick both of those guys to represent the Angels.
I mean, Yusei Kikuchi's got an ERA this season. Again, you can't worry sometimes about one-loss record because he hasn't got a ton of support. 2.81 ERA, 102 in a third innings pitch, 106 strikeouts. Kenley Jansen, 15 saves in 16 opportunities. In the batting average, opponent's batting average, both in around in the 240 range. So it's a chance that one or both of these guys, maybe, if you're trying to win the game, although it's a little bit different when we used to say the games this time it counts, where you had more relievers more than starters, but Kenley Jansen, the future Hall of Famer, that'd be a good choice to have him come back.
I would not.
He's been here too. He had 41 saves in that uniform for the Braves, so it'd be kind of a fun thing for him to come back here.
Yeah, be full circle for Kenley Jansen, no doubt. He could certainly be a lock for the Angels. How about some homegrown Angels talent? Mike Trout, certainly. Everybody wants to see Mike Trout back here for the All-Star game. A little surprising that he wasn't one of the starters, but Taylor Ward, he's been unbelievable with the bat all season.
Yeah, like I mentioned, 41 extra base hits to 57 RBIs. You talk about one of the most consistent RBI producers in the game, and why would his name not be in that conversation? And I think it will be. It all depends on what decisions you make as far as you need the outfielders, you need a pitcher, as far as that extra players and stuff. But Mike Trout, he's an all-star. You always want him in the game. If you're a fan of baseball, you want the very best, the future Hall of Famer, 3-time MVP, 2-time MVP of the All-Star game in Mike Trout. That'd be great for him to be in there, too.
You want to see Mike Trout where all the stars are. Mike Trout certainly deserves to be there. Stick with us. It's warm down here, but Jose Soriano, he doesn't mind the heat. He's a road warrior. He gets the ball tonight in the series finale. The road warrior looking for a bounce back. Yes, thriving on the road. We'll preview his outing tonight against the Braves next.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Angels Live on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. I'm trying not to laugh because Blooper just put the Ron Washington bobblehead in the manager's spot on the bench. I love that.
Just sitting around and goes, hey, Waj, how you doing there? Just sitting there having a conversation.
I love that. He's not here with us physically. He's here with us in spirit. At least his great bobblehead is. I love that blooper. That's fantastic. Anyways, let's go back to some pitching. Here he comes. He's bringing it back out. What a historic milestone last night, Gooby, at Dodger Stadium for Clayton Kershaw, recording his 3,000th career strikeout, becoming just the 20th member of that club.
And when I look at his numbers with the 3,000 strikeouts, he's about a little over 4-to-1 ratio between strikeouts to walks. So a lot of strikeouts, and what a moment that was for him. When you look at his numbers, 29 of his strikeouts this year have been on breaking pitch. That's bread and butter, that curveball slider combo. And what a reaction. One of the all-time greats, a winning percentage of .697. 216 wins, 94 losses. That's it. They go along with 3,000 strikeouts for the future Hall of Famer. Love that to see that, the fans, and just the way he's going out there competing when you didn't know if he would even be pitching this season, especially this early in the season.
Yeah, and considering everything, the injuries he's had to deal with, he's just one of the best pitchers of our generation. The second he's eligible, you better believe he will be elected to Cooperstown. The Angels have one of his former teammates in Chris Taylor, and earlier today we talked to CT33 about his former teammate Kersh and his huge milestone.
I'm just so happy for him. I was glad I was able to watch the game last night. You know, we got done early enough and went back in my room, and it was on MLB Network. So I got to see it happen. It was dramatic the way it happened. I was getting nervous for him, especially there towards the end as his pitch count was going up. But so happy for him. You know, it was great to see the reaction of all the guys and the reaction of Ellen and his kids in the stands. It was super cool. Obviously, you know, one of the best to ever do it, and for him to do it at home, you know, it's special.
Did you have a chance to reach out to him at all?
I know he got 1,000 texts. I just sent him a quick text, like, happy for you, and yeah, you know, it's a special moment. I'm proud to be able to call him a teammate and a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, Gooby, I think he probably had just a couple text messages after the game last night.
Just a couple million, probably.
A couple million,
I mean, the way he competes, I just love the way he competes. Every single time he fields his position well. He's always got his teammates back, and I'll tell you what, he's phenomenal pitcher.
Very cool. Congratulations to Clayton Kershaw. But we turn our attention now to tonight's Angels starter will be Jorge Soriano. Gooby looking for a bounce back, coming off his worst outing of the season last Friday against the Nats.
It was tough. Remember that last time he had a real tough outing. He bounced back with a great stretch, about 3 starts in a row. But especially when you look at him on the road, how good he has been on the road with a 4-2 record in ERA, well under 3. He has not allowed a home run this season on the road yet. So that's the thing. He throws a lot of strikes, gets hitters out rather effectively. I expect him to have a big game. And my go-tos for Soriano, really, to have that bounce-back game, it always comes down to me, is really that feel for his knuckle curve early. When he has a feel for his knuckle curve, it's lights out if you're a hitter. But also, good that sinker, that quick running sinker down on the arm side. That's going to be down in the right-handed batters, down and away against these left-handed batters. They got a lot of them in the lineup. But that feel for his knuckle curve, and he's got over a 40% whip percentage knuckle curve. But the last game out, didn't have a feel for it. That's why he struggled.
Well, the sinker will be key. The Braves are a good team against the sinker. Stick with us. Closer to first pitch on the other side of this break. We'll hear some pregame thoughts from interim manager Ray Montgomery next.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude. Stand up to cancer.
We are attacking your opposites.
Together.
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 to Atlanta. Angels hoping for a series win tonight against the Braves, but they'll have to do it without Christian Moore. He was placed on the 10-day injured list earlier today with that left thumb sprain. Ray Montgomery feels optimistic that Simo avoided a more serious injury. Here's more from Montgomery.
Oh, for sure. I mean, anytime you see somebody like him have an injury like that, I feared the worst. I'm sure he did too, so that's encouraging.
Encouraging, maybe timetable too. I don't know how you see this playing out. He said maybe a couple of weeks, but what is your kind of gauge on this whole situation?
Yeah, I wouldn't put a timetable on it. Those things can be tricky, just the nature of the injury. I love that he thinks that, but he should. He's young. He's, encouraged by the non-surgical piece, so I'm thinking he's looking at best case scenario.
From a manager perspective, he also felt like he was kind of getting into a groove, so I'm sure it's disappointing for him, but from your seat, how do you see that?
Same, yeah. Like everything we talked about, just the defensive side of the ball, the IQ, the baseball acumen, everything was as advertised and maybe a little bit better.
All right, stick with us. Angels with a chance to get back to 500 once again tonight from Truist Park in Atlanta. First pitch coming your way next. Thanks for joining us on Angels Live pregame. Patrick O'Neill's here with us tonight with Mark Gubiza on the call. Enjoy the game. We'll see you throughout the night.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
My wife told me my hair was thinning, and I wanted to avoid that at all costs.
Let's go, baby! I stopped hanging out with the guys because I didn't want to hear the wisecracks. So I did some research and found Nutrafol, which was cool because I had no idea there was a supplement for hair.
I liked that it was drug-free and then it was clinically tested.
My hair was getting stronger and thicker.
Nutrafol has just given me more confidence, which allows me to carry myself a little taller.
It felt real good to ditch the hat.
Hair growth starts from the inside at Nutrafol.com/men.
All right, so that's one pair of glasses.
Yep.
With prescription lenses, plus anti-reflective lens coating.
Oh.
Scratch-resistant coating.
Did I choose?
UV protection. Award-winning customer service.
That's me.
That's also me. Free returns, free exchanges, and free frame adjustments for life.
And how much more is that?
Oh, it's all included at Warby Parker.
So my glasses
are still just $95.
Oh.
Surprise! I just get excited.
watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Clippers, Kings, and Angels.
Angels baseball is on the air. FanDuel Sports Network has you covered from Truist Park here in Atlanta, Georgia, as your Angels take it on the Atlanta Braves. This is the finale of a 3-game series, and it is the rubber game. Once again, the Halos a chance to win a series. Alongside Mark Gubaza, I'm Patrick O'Neill. That's just it. A lot of these big games. It's a huge one here today.
Yeah, it is, Patty. When you think about it, they got a chance to win a series down here in Atlanta in this ballpark, which they have never done. And, you know, first game they played really well. The Braves swung the bats well late yesterday, so the Halos a chance to win this series today.
Yeah, the only series the Halos have won in Atlanta way back in 2005. One guy that can help them do it is Joe Adell. Last 13 games, he's smashing the baseball.
Patrick, he is so locked in on every pitch right now, whether it's fastballs, which he struggled early in the season, breaking balls, he's hit consistently the entire year. But during this stretch, you see the batting average of 340 with 5 home runs. He's slugging at 680. I mean, he's using the whole field. That's what I love. Even yesterday, it was a right back up the middle. Everything has been hit hard. If you go something away, he's going to right center field, miss in. He's able to turn on the ball, pull the ball. He had that big hit yesterday. Also almost hit a double home run even later in the game, so he's swinging the bat very, very well.
So the All-Star game is coming up right here at Truist Park as we take a look at the Old Spice fresh stats. Maybe Joe Adell's going to play himself into this game. First 25 versus the last 53. I tell you what, Gooby, 53 games, that's a pretty healthy sample size.
16 home runs during the stretch. The OPS has jumped up dramatically, but what you're seeing also is patience at the plate, more walks, less strikeouts, not chasing out of the strike zone. And I'm liking what I'm seeing because he's feeling comfortable on any pitch being thrown to him right now, especially because he's bringing all those good pitches in the strike zone and doing damage.
Well, for the Halos, it's going to come down to starting pitching. They have Jorge Soriano on the bump. Gooby's coming off a bad start for him, but he has been great on the road. Do you like this matchup today?
I really do, because he has a swing and miss pitch going, that knuckle curve and slider going against the slider for the Braves. So you mentioned those numbers. They've been great on the road. He has not allowed a home run this entire season so far on the road. He's got an ERA 2.78 in 9 starts this year. Very comfortable coming out of that bullpen, getting down to that bench, relaxing, and hopefully in the offense score him some runs. But what he's done so far on the road has been really, really electric. I expect him to have a good game against this Brave lineup. They woke up a little bit last night. Hopefully they'll be back to sleep when they're seeing that stuff he's going to be throwing out there on the mound.
I guess if he's spinning that knuckle curve early, you'll know that Jorge Soriano's locked in.
Exactly. That's so important for him to have that knuckle curve working.
There was a tough injury in the game last night to second baseman Christian Moore. We will give you the update on SEMO. Erica Weston spoke to him directly. That's coming up next.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
to Atlanta, where we're taking a look last night in the 6th inning. Christian Moore diving to make a play on this ball, injuring that left thumb. He did make an effort to stay in the game last night. Unfortunately, did come out of the game with a left thumb sprain, and the Angels did announce today that sprain. The good news, though, is that he's optimistic. Christian Moore is that surgery isn't on the table right now. Ray Montgomery felt like they dodged a bullet as far as that is concerned. Not going to put a timetable on it, though. Simo certainly optimistic, but as of right now, he's on the 10-day IL. He's wearing a brace on that left hand. Here's more from Simo earlier today on the injury.
Pretty good sprain on the left thumb, and obviously, trying to make a play up the middle on that ball. Kind of, fell over the thumb a little bit and kind of rolled the wrist a little bit. So, but yeah, just a pretty good sprain.
How's it feeling right now?
Pretty sore. Gonna get some more treatment on it today, tomorrow, and keep on it. Just trying to get back out there.
Yeah. What does the timetable look like?
I think it's pretty much up to my body and how it heals itself. I'm just gonna see. Hopefully I can be out there in 2 weeks. That's kind of my thing. But if I can get out there quicker, obviously we can do some things. With the glove, maybe putting something in there or something. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But I'm hoping a week or two.
Sprain sounds better than like tears or ligament things or anything that needs surgery. So are you a little relieved? In that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that was great news to hear. And the quicker I can get back out there, out there with these guys, that's definitely what I want to do. And I just want to help the team win. So it was definitely a relief.
Tough news for Simo, who certainly felt like he was just starting to settle in. But in the meantime, Chad Stevens is here. He gets the call, and it'll be a major league debut for the Angels and Stevens tonight. He gets the start at second base tonight in Game 3 against the Braves. Stick with us. We're getting closer to the finale here from Atlanta. Yusei Kikuchi certainly looking like an all-star last night, pitching like an all-star. The guys will discuss that on the other side of this break.
Where did you get these seats?
I got a guy.
You've got a guy. You gotta use Game Time for concert tickets. It's also the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, even at the last minute.
What time is it? It's game time!
Next. Right this second, at some movie theater somewhere.
Which one?
Popcorn and... Someone really wants a soda. But soda's like something you drink on the weekends. And today's only Tuesday.
Soda, please.
Take your time.
Mom!
What if there were a better soda? Kate, I brought the puppy.
I can see that.
Okay, that was actually kind of easy.
They don't pay me enough anyway.
5 grams of sugar. Pass me one. No, I can't. I'm just a voice.
This tiny home trend, not for me. Now, this is more like it. The same goes for my footwear. So I went hands-free with wide-fit Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go without bending down or touching my shoes. Wide-fit, hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Angels baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Hyundai. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event deals so right it almost feels wrong, only at your SoCal Hyundai dealers. By the OC Healthcare Agency, navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by Pechanga Resort Casino, play your perfect combination at Pechanga, conveniently located off the I-15 in Temecula. We're closing in on first pitch here in Atlanta, but let's talk about some all-star worthy candidates, and one in particular we want to focus on is Yusei Kikuchi. Certainly in the pregame show, I know you guys laid it all out, but these stats, this resume speaks for itself.
I mean, the numbers since May 7th, but overall in the season, 2.81 ERA, 102 in the third innings pitched, 106 strikeouts. It's 3-6, but he has pitched extremely well. When you have that kind of innings per strikeouts and then also the ERA, that's all-star worthy.
If it happens, it would be his second all-star game made. He appeared with the Seattle Mariners early in his career. All right, when we come back, we've got first pitch, we've got lineups, and we have a big rubber game here against the Braves for your Halos. And Blooper's trying to outrun Mike Trout. Not gonna happen. Back right after this.
Everything about PXG totally changed my game. The whole experience that PXG brings is top-notch. They make the best equipment and really tailor it to your swing. I've seen great results. The forgiveness, the workability definitely makes the game a lot easier. I hit 15 yards farther, and it's going straighter. The joy and the great feeling of seeing the ball get in the hole is pretty special. Yeah, you should go get fitted.
PXG, you've never played like this before.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, preventing wood rot and foundation decay, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for 75% off installation plus $200 off your purchase. LeafGuard, get it today. Protected for life.
If you know luxury, it's not just award-winning, it's rewarding. Sadva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Sadva to friends and family. Sadva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
In Atlanta, Georgia, Truist Park, actually Cumberland, Georgia, Cobb County for some Halo baseball, trying to win a series against the Atlanta Braves. Winning a series in Atlanta for the Halos has only happened once, way back in 2005. Not going to be easy, but a chance to do it and get back to 500 as we take a look at tonight's lineup, brought to you by Simpson Chevy, Zach Neto, Nolan Shotwell, Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, Joe Adell, Jorge Soler, Logan O'Hoppe back behind the dish, Luis Rengifo, and Chad Stevens making his MLB debut. Just called up with Christian Moore going on the IL with the sprained thumb, as Erica Weston reported earlier. A chance to get back to 500, Gooby, for the 10th time. It's been one step forward, one step back. They got to get over that hump.
Well, all you got to do is control what you do today. Now it's playing a solid game both on the defensive side, the offensive side, and pitch well and win that game, get to 500 before going north of the border up in Toronto.
Taking on Bryce Elder here tonight, Gooby. He has struggled last time out, not great, working on a 4-game losing streak. He's been good in the past, all-star in 2023.
Yeah, fastball, not overpowering, 90-94. There was a synchro throw, an occasional cutter, slider, and changeup, my go-tos to have success against him, especially when you look in the first inning. He does struggle somewhat in the first inning, but you got to have some good swings, especially lift that changeup up in the zone and drive that. He's given up 5 home runs at a .559 slugging percentage, that middle zone changeup, and lift that sinker for some damage. Also 5 home runs there too. So some batting average against the changeup and the sinker here today. Hopefully that's the case today for a lot of the hitters, especially when you think of Trout, Adell, Shawnuel, all hit pitches lower third really well. Should be good matchups for them.
Well, the Braves had 21 consecutive scoreless innings until that 6th inning last night when things completely went down for the Angels.
And the defense behind Elder. Nick Allen is really, really good at the shortstop position. You got Profar back out on the left. Harris, an excellent center fielder. Cunha Jr., we know how much he can do all over the field for the Braves. The third base, Riley, a former Gold Glove winner. Nick Allen at shortstop. Balby's over at second. Olsen at first. Murphy behind the plate. If you go back to Nick Allen, 9 defensive runs saved already this season. Been involved in 30 double plays turned. So he's an excellent shortstop.
Well, we are underway here tonight. And Zach Neto leading off alongside Mark Gubicza, Erica West, and Patrick O'Neill. Parachuted in last night. Way
to go, Patty.
Thank you. Watching that game, filling in for Wade tonight as Neto rips that one foul. Count's going to be 1-1. Neto with 6 leadoff home runs on the season. That's tied for second most.
That young fan is okay. Pull that one right into the stands right away.
I second that. Counts 0-2. And just gets a piece to stay alive, fights it off.
And it's good changeup, about 10%, but his batting average 333 with 4 home runs, I should say, allowed versus his changeup.
Brian Downing and Tony Phillips also had 6 leadoff home runs, so that's tied for second. Downing the record with 7.
The Elders allowed 11 earned runs and 13 innings pitched in the first inning with a couple home runs.
How'd the temperature feel down on the field for the pregame show?
Yeah, extremely comfortable. If you like sweating.
I like that right there. Base hit.
Nice job by Neto going down and getting that pitch and just not trying to pull it back up the middle. Slider was down and away. Pretty good piece of hitting.
Especially with 2 strikes. So leadoff man is aboard. Another look.
I mean, when you get a hitter to swing at that pitch as a pitcher, you feel pretty good. That's pretty good play coverage. I think a lot of the hitters throughout this game are going to track that lower third against Elder. I mean, it's a good sinker, combination of changeup, slider too, but a lot of pitches lower thirds to keep that eye level at that point to be successful.
Certainly whenever Neto is aboard, you have to think about the stolen base and also think about how he will slide into second base. As he's been practicing the feet first slide, and last time slid off the bag and was caught stealing. As Nolan Shawnuel digs in.
No pickoffs in his career for Elder. 8 stolen bases in 10 attempts. So when you go back to his career, 32 stolen bases, only 5 caught. That's a huge lead.
Neto back safely for Nolan Shawnuel, growing up in Boca Raton, Florida. You know, that's kind of Braves, how the Braves kind of flare out with their fandom. So he came here quite a bit as a kid, as a fan. Played here as a high school athlete, kind of a showcase game, and had some friends and family that were here in the first 2 games of this series. There's quite a few players have family here tonight, including Joe Adell. Witnessing him with a 13-game hit streak as his parents, Scott and Nicole, here. Shawnuel out to left field. And Profar is there. It's his 2nd game back from suspension. Impacted the game last night. And that's the first out of the first.
It's interesting, that pitch before, I don't know if Shawnuel kept his bat back out over the plate on that bunt attempt, but he certainly wasn't a strike. It was called a strike.
Here's Mike Trout. Fell just 2 percentage points out of making the All-Star game as the fan vote in. And still has a chance to make it if selected on Sunday. That slider low and away, swing and a miss.
He's thinking of Trout, especially he's going to see sliders, going to see changeup, more than likely sinkers down. See if he could be on time with his swing.
A lot of chatter about when's Trout going to swing at the first pitch. Fastball down the middle, got the slider and swung through it, and he's in the hole 0-2.
Let's take a look at our StatCast really powered by Google Cloud. The pitch arsenal for Elder today. About 40% slider, 40% sinker. The occasional four-seamer changeup. But a lot of those sliders and sinkers are down. That four-seamer more of a cut fastball type pitch.
Neto at first. And check on him. Zach with 13 stolen bases, caught 7 times.
Seemed like every one of those times he was caught, he was initially called safe and then popped off the bag or slid by the bag.
Well, Trout fights that off, stays alive as it catches a piece of the catcher, Sean Murphy.
That was a slider he got away with right there, right in the heart of the plate. Fouled off of Sean Murphy.
Once Trout gets going, keep saying that, and he could really carry this team. And entering today, 2.5 games back in the wild card, trying to get back to 500. But man, if he gets to playing some really outstanding baseball, it could go a long way.
Yeah, especially the way Taylor Ward and Joe Adell have swung the bat. Pretty much the whole season, at least for a long period of time for both of them.
That's very, very close. Not called.
That was a strike on that one, though.
Fastball up and in. That's a tough spot for Mike Trout. Counts 1-2. That's Ron Culpa.
Feels like he might try that one again.
Home plate umpire here tonight. Neto stays put, and Trout fouls that one away.
Play a pretty shallow outfield for the Braves. We can look all 3 of them. Good indication they're comfortable going back on the baseball. We saw that last night with Harris.
Neto on the move, swing and a miss, but Neto appears to be safe. Wait, make sure he keeps his foot on the bag. Trout strikes out. There is no strike him out, throw him out as Neto steals the bag, his 14th, and he's in scoring position for Taylor Ward.
And looked pretty comfortable going in feet first on that one. Foot's on the bag, stays connected. In scoring position for the guy that has driven in the most runs for the Halos, Taylor Ward.
The reason why he doesn't like going at feet first because he does not like the raspberry that's going to show up on that right thigh. He hit the ground hard. He's always gone in head first. Tears up the pants right away.
Pretty amazing though. 14 stolen bases, 15 doubles, 12 home runs this season. And you remember he missed some time at the beginning of the season.
Taylor Ward falls behind 0-2 as the sliders got some bite early for Elder. 20 homers, 20 doubles, as you mentioned. A good pitch for Taylor Ward, who also has his parents here tonight from Orlando. Joe and Samantha should get a look for the All-Star game as he takes downstairs.
When you look at the 41 extra base hits, yes. You just, if you look at the batting average, you go, for an All-Star team, maybe not. But 41 extra base hits and 57 RBIs.
Another good take, 2-2.
Yesterday, a couple of his hits were when he had 2 strikes on him. Just to get that early lead for Soriano, be big.
Neto with the leadoff base hit. He's at second base. The 2-2. Very close. It is ball 3, full count. So from 0-2 to 3-2.
Guessing he's going to see a slider, especially after that sinker in that plane.
Joe Adell on deck. Big pitch. Grounded foul. Last 6 games, the Angels just alternating wins and losses. So, for Ray Montgomery finding a way to bounce back, not take things too seriously. It's Travis d'Arnaud, Sal Fasano, back here in Atlanta.
Good
Excellent.
at bat.
Yep. Here's a walk. So 2 on, 2 out. Here comes Joe Adell riding a 13-game hitting streak. And that leads us to our Hyundai key to the game.
Going to big Brave fan and Mike Trout fan, Cole Swindell, middle of a memory, looking for that pitch in the middle of the plate, whether it's a slider, sinker, or changeup here today for success for the hitters.
Stay the course. That's what Joe keeps telling me, stay the course. His approach at the plate, his ability to hit fastballs. He's hitting everything, as you and Eric could talk about quite a bit. It's fun to see, and he's currently the best hitter on the team.
Yeah, he's hitting fastballs, like you mentioned, very well of late. Not in the beginning, but now he is.
It's a great take, 1-1.
This is a solid at bat for Taylor Ward. He didn't go out for anything out of the strike zone there. And first inning troubles for Elder. See if Joe Adell can add on to that trouble.
This is the right man at the plate to do it. And there is a base hit up the middle for Joe Adell, extending his hit streak to 14 and driving in Zach Neto for an early Angels lead, 1-0.
Pretty amazing what he's doing right there. That's a sinker down and right back up the middle. He is not trying to pull everything. Stayed on that one well. We've seen him hit the baseball hard throughout this whole time. That one, 109.9, so 110 off the bat. Didn't even seem like he hit that hard.
He hit it right into the ground, but it got through. That's amazing.
He killed some worms on the way through that infield.
Early lead for Soriano.
Approved by Travis d'Arnaud.
14-game hit streak for Joe Adell. There's Jorge Soler. And the 2 games coming off the IL. And a double and a mammoth home run last night against his former team. World Series MVP 2019 Jorge Soler.
200th. It was 448 too.
Blast. 200th home run for the big Cuban. To get his bat going, you know, he's been playing a lot of right field with the injury to Mike Trout. You know, he was brought here to be the primary DH. He's had a couple of stints on the IL, but see what a healthy Jorge Soler can do for you.
Yeah, line drive double, game 1, the right center field, and that home run he pulled the left center field. Good sign for him.
The 7th Cuban-born player to reach 200, and a good take. And now a good hitting count, 3-1.
It's like last night we saw Fuentes a lot of pitches in the first inning. Same thing here now with Elder, quite a few. This will be pitch number 29 already in the first inning.
2 on, and that pitch misses for ball 4. There's another walk, so a single, 2 singles, and a couple of walks in this inning. Now the bases are loaded for Logan O'Hoppe.
Might see a visit here, you would think. You know, Sean Murphy's going to go out. For whatever reason, sometimes when you have a certain inning as a pitcher you struggle with, it's in your mind because somebody will always ask you about it, or somebody up in the booth will be talking about it.
Talking nonstop about it. Well, they're going to talk about it, and we'll give you a quick word from Hyundai.
Enjoy the new car.
Thank you.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Really big at bat here early in this game. Don't want to let Elder and the Braves off the hook. Last night couldn't add on to that 2-0 lead. Put up a crooked number here early. Give Soriano something to work with. O'Hoppe takes a sinker for a strike. 17 homers, 37 RBI for the big catcher. And it's 0-2.
He's got to stay on that one and think right center. He tried to pull that one. When he's on his game, he's hitting a lot of baseballs hard to right center for Logan O'Hoppe.
They've awarded third. Adell at second. The RBI single. Soler at first. 2 down. It's like Joe Adell's approach, not always thinking about the home run, and he is putting the baseball in play, hitting it hard, and gives the Halos the early lead, looking for more.
The most important process to think of as a hitter is 1 run with the bases loaded. As much as you love to be 4 runs with 1 swing in the bat, think 1 run. That allows you to shorten up your swing and be more direct to the baseball. And if there's a mistake, that's when you hit it hard. But you think 1 run right here and go from there.
Well, that's a foul ball at the plate, but no, that's going to be an out. Thought I heard the umpire say foul ball. Discussion with Murphy, and Elder gets out of it as O'Hoppe taps out. It's 1-0. 15th start of the season for Jose Soriano. The sinker will be in heavy usage here tonight. Looking for the knuckle curve early, but Gooby, the Braves, they hit the sinker with an average of about 310. So how's that going to play out?
Well, when you're throwing your sinker 99 to 100, I think that still plays pretty well. You still go with your power. My go-tos for Soriano to have a bounce-back game and continue what he's done all season long and throughout his career on the road. Feel for the knuckle curve early. That's so important. He has a whip percentage just under 41%. To run that sinker down arm side, that means running away against lefties, but also running down and in on the right-handed batters here of the Atlanta Braves.
Last Friday, Soriano, 8 earned runs allowed, a career high, but took a no decision as he's facing Acuna Jr., Olsen, Riley, then it's Ozuna, Profar, Albies, Murphy, Harris, and Allen for the Atlanta Braves.
That's paint.
That is a good start and a good sign for Soriano, who's had his velo down on his sinker last game. So far to start this one. Acuna Jr. voted in, led all NL outfielders. And he'll be an all-star once again. Missed the first 50 games of the season, but still voted in. The only other player to do that was Joe DiMaggio, 1949. Here's the 1-2. Oh, and a wicked chase, and Acuna goes down.
That's that knuckle curve. Good feel early on. The defense behind him today with Chad Stevens at second base, but in the outfield first, you have Taylor Ward out in left field, Joe Adell in center, Jorge Soler back out in right field, third base, Luis Rengifo, Zach Neto at short, Chad Stevens at second base, making his debut here today. Nolan Shawnuel, Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate. 7 games at AAA for second base. I'll tell you what, though, he's got to get back on the other side of the bag. Right now, I'm looking out. He's on the other side of the bag at second base here. I mean, no, Neto's real close to that. I'm sorry. Neto real close to that. They got to get closer, make sure that's not going to be called.
Yeah, if that was Stevens, then it would definitely be over.
I'll look over to Steve. And then the thing I was talking to Ryan Goins today with Chad Stevens is because he's a taller second baseman. He wants him a little spread out a little bit more to have a little more range, be able to stay down on the baseball better.
Majority playing shortstop. Matt Olson at the dish, had that big grand slam last night. And certainly a potential selection to the All-Star game, considering it will be right here at Truist Park in Atlanta. 1-2. And that's going to get through for a base hit for Olson. Gets past Chad Stevens. 1 on, 1 out. That'll bring up Austin Riley.
He's had a big series already. The halos, which generally will do it. Anything up in the strike zone, he hits well. Everything he's hit the hard this whole series has been upstairs. That knuckle curve was upstairs. It didn't get down that lower third.
We haven't talked much about Chad Stevens. I know that Erica had it in the open. She'll have more on Stevens and Christian Moore coming up here shortly. And the injury, you know, to Moore, that kind of played into when Kikuchi was taken out of the game. It's about 10 minutes wait after a couple of base hits.
Yeah, I mean, and then, you know, when you're sitting around, and of course, Kikuchi had that long first inning, and you're standing waiting to see what was actually going to happen there with Christian Moore, because he was trying to fight his way to stay in the game. So there was about a 10-minute delay. And Ray Montgomery had been talking to Kikuchi about staying in the game, and he said he felt good. And then all of a sudden, as it goes back to that same question, there wasn't quite that certainty of saying, that's my guy. I'm going to get that next out. So that's why decision made to go to the bullpen at that point with Zephyr-John.
100 pitches for Kikuchi. The Heat, you know, 5 2/3 scoreless, pitching great.
I think if there wasn't that delay, he would have been given that opportunity.
I think so too.
And initially, that's what the decision was going to be.
Yeah, tough loss, because then when the floodgates open, there is another wicked knuckle curve. The second strikeout on that pitch, 2 down.
That's 27 strikeouts on the season now with his knuckle curve. He is establishing it early on, and the hitters will go back to that dugout and going, wow. Usually he'll throw his slider a little bit more so the right-handed batters. So far he's got 2 of the punch-outs against right-handed batters on that. He stayed down. The one he threw to Matt Olson stayed up a little bit more in the strike zone.
Here's Marcell Ozuna. Bit of a nagging hip injury. Season high 10-game RBI and extra base hit drought. Don't want him to hear me. Don't want to wake up the sleeping giant. Yeah, definitely good velo on the sinker to start for Soriano. Ray Montgomery was very clear. He likes the matchup with Sori on the bump here. A lot of questions from some of the media about Zephyr John last night.
Again, when I have many a conversation with the manager out there, when you say that, I'm your best option, I'm the guy, you got a good chance. But when you're out there for another 10 more minutes waiting around after that taxing first inning, then you go back and ask the same question. It's not quite that certainty. You have to go to the bullpen at that point.
1-2. Oh, and it gets called. Wow. Strike three, 99.
That was Agent 99.
Yes, it was. 3 strikeouts in the first for Soriano. That's just wicked. Agent 99. Paint. Bam. Bryce Elder, 14th start here this season, 64th of his career, but his last 7 haven't gone well. 0-4 with a 6.5 ERA. Luis Rengifo leads off the second. Halos with an early 1-0 lead. Joe Adell with an RBI single. Halos did strand the bases loaded.
Looks like you might be able to have to go up there swinging the bat today a little bit.
The way Ron Culpa has his strikes zone working.
He's got those edges calling for strikes so far. If you're a hitter, you got to be ready to swing. If you're a pitcher, you're liking that.
Yeah, I think you would like it, wouldn't you?
Oh yes.
This is your type of game, except for there, Luis Rengifo gets a strikeout, and that'll bring up Chad Stevens, MLB debut, just called up with the injury to Christian Moore. Big moment in his career. Just found out last night his family's going to be going up to Toronto. They didn't get a chance to get here in time. I'm sure they're bummed out, but Eric will have more on the special moment, how he found out. In Tacoma.
30 extra base hits at AAA this season.
Gig Harbor High School, state champs 2017 in Washington. And that is softly hit, and that guy is good. Austin Riley, a little short hop, and he throws out Stevens.
I mean, their defense around this entire team, both in the infield and the outfield.
That was a tricky hop.
They don't give up any extra outs.
No.
That is for sure. It's a tough hop. It's a little top spin to it. Picks it rather easily. He's been a Gold Glove winner. He credits Ron Washington quite a bit about his improved defense at third base. Hopefully Wash is watching the game. I'm sure he is. Blooper showed his little bobblehead with Eric and I there in the pregame show.
I hope Wash was tuning in to the pregame show. Blooper with that Ron Washington bobblehead. That one is hammered by Zach Neto. An absolute blast to the wall. So Neto already with a single and now a stand-up double.
He's always aggressive on the first pitch. Another extra base hit for Neto. 16th double. He's got a single, double, stolen base today.
And the run scored, working his way to a natural.
That just spins up there. That's a hanging slider. 103.4 exit velocity off the wall. And quite a few pitches in the first inning for Elder, but he's been pretty efficient so far. It's a good swing there for Neto, and hopefully Shawnuel can bring him home now.
Nolan Shawnuel at the dish. Flew out to left his first time out. There's a sinker right down the middle for strike one. At least for Stevens, he got that first at bat out of the way, made some contact, put it in play. Zach Neto, 2-out double in scoring position for Shawnuel.
It's amazing though for Chad Stevens, all the battles to get to this point, be in the major leagues like that. What a thrill that must be for him. By the way, the team you're with now has Mike Trout on it too, so that makes it even more special.
Just tremendous. Stevens, the 7th Angel to make their MLB debut this season.
And the draft is right around the corner,
right.
So I'm sure we might see the draft pick up here at some point. You never know.
July 13th and 14th, Angels with the 2nd overall selection.
Good count now for Shawnuel.
Here's the 3-1. Fly ball center field. Harris going back, long run track. He leaps up. Oh, and he runs into the wall. It's a 2-run home run for Nolan Shawnuel. 3-0 Halos.
I don't know about you, Patrick. Did you listen to the pregame show?
You called it. I was listening.
Shawnuel, wow, dead central. 103.1, another baseball hit. 103 plus this season for Shawnuel. That's impressive, going 415. So 2 quick outs, 2 quick runs. Shawnuel, wow.
Deepest part of the ballpark here at Truist Park. Over 400 feet, dead central. It's home run number 8 for Shawnuel as Mike Trout takes a ball. 8 homers, 34 ribbies. Tapper right back to Elder and softly tosses the cross to retire Trout. Angels score once in the first, twice in the second as Shawnuel drives in. Zach Neto, a 4-bagger, a blast to central. 3-0 Angels. Well, some early run support, Gooby, for Jose Soriano, and already his stuff looks really good.
Yeah, and this, keep thinking that mind process is a 0-0 game. Put up a 0 after that 2-run blast by Shawnwell.
We talked a lot about how Jose Soriano has pitched extremely well on the road. And it's Jerks and Profar, Ozzie Albies, and Sean Murphy here in the bottom of the second. It's a ground ball. And it is handled in the first putout for Chad Stevens. And for more, here is Erica.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Chad Stevens. It wasn't exactly a secret to see him get the call based on what we saw in Tacoma last night with the Salt Lake Bees. Lots of hugs going on early on in the game. The infielders, Keith Johnson giving him hugs as well. But he said he was a little unsure about what was going on at first. Yolmer Sanchez came out onto the infield, and once he kind of came up to give him a hug, he kind of knew what was going on. So he's really excited to be here. But guys, it was really full circle for him because he's from the Tacoma area. So his family was actually in the seats watching this all unfold in real time. But he had a flight last night to get here to Atlanta. So mom and dad went to the house, grabbed his suitcase to be able to get on that flight to be here in Atlanta tonight to make his debut. So very cool. Also, we're heading to Toronto after the game tonight. He does always have the passport in the backpack, but he said he double, triple checked. So kind of cool that he got to see it happen, get the call with his parents in the seats, get that call to the show.
Yeah, it is a short little flight out to Atlanta from there, too. It's a short flight. Well, I mean, how excited is he right now? Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is a really cool moment. Thanks for that, Erica. That was tremendous video also. Tears in the stands from the family on their way to Toronto. Probably right now. Well, they're probably watching. Well, depends on when their flight is. Probably flights tomorrow to Toronto. Watching us right now. Hello to the family. The Stevens family watching their son make his MLB debut.
Well, he's got his sinker working.
Yeah, he sure
99
does.
tonight.
Velocity, if there's any question about it in the last game, it is back tonight. Here's that video from last night that Erica was talking about. So you find out in the middle of the game that you're getting taken out because of the injury to Christian Moore, the timing. Chad Stevens, you're going to the show. Fly ball out to right field. Jorge Soler camps under it for the second out here in the bottom of the second.
Another out on his knuckle curve. But what a thrill for his teammates there in Salt Lake City, too. I mean, just to see that, because that's why you're there. You're there to get to the show, and one of your teammates, one of your friends gets that call. Everyone feels the excitement.
Also an alum from Gig Harbor High School, Michael Tolia went to UCLA. The Colorado Rockies last year, 25 bombs, I believe.
There he is again, swinging at the first pitch. Sean Murphy, all the time. That last night, swinging at the first pitch to cutter from Zephyr John. It's like that. The Braves took the lead.
Any advice for Zephyr John coming in? First pitch.
As anything, especially when you're a reliever, you got to clear your mind of it. Kenley Jansen has said that so often. Clear the mind immediately. There's nothing you could do. If you allow that to dwell on about the mistakes you made, it's going to have a carry-on effect. You just got to clear the mind. He said that. I'm ready to go.
We'll see how he bounced back. We'll see who the high leverage righty is out of the bullpen. Or if they're going to maybe let Zephyr John work out of some kind of low stress situations so they can kind of get his game back. Sam Bachman out there, Connor Brogdon, something to bridge to get to Kenley. Reed Detmers is pitching so great. The lefty is that high leverage 8th inning guy. Can also get you a save if needed.
Yeah, you have options. There's some good arms down there for Ray Montgomery. Steve Carsey down in the bullpen along with Barry Enright right there in the dugout.
The 2-2 is lined to center field, and Joe Adell is going to play that one on a hop for a 2-out knock for Sean Murphy to bring up Michael Harris the second. Seemed like he was tempted to come in and make a play on that one, but played it safe.
Yeah, sinkered. It was middle. Didn't get down below. It was hit hard at moments, about 108. Thought I had a chance to hang up there long enough to run that one down.
The second hit of the ball game for the Braves. It's a team that started 0-7. Then they got themselves back to 500. Seemed like they were going to be playing good baseball. Then they had another 7-game losing streak. And they win 2, they lose 3, they win 3, they lose 4. They have not been able to build any traction. That's why this game here today, it's big for both teams. The Angels clearly need it more than the Atlanta Braves. They throw down to first to get Murphy back. He is back in time.
It's that arm side run and sink for Soriano. He threw there to Harris. That was perfect.
Well, that sinker, knuckle curve, work in the slider. Seems like the Braves having trouble kind of picking it up. The pitch mix working so far.
And also he'll use his splitter a little bit more so against left-handed batters. You don't really throw that a whole lot to righties, especially because he has that sinker running in on the right-handed batters.
There's a tapper. Shonowell goes back a couple of steps, makes a nice play to retire the side and keep the score 3-0 Halos as we go to the third. Leave the Big A in style during Throwback Week. First 25,000 fans on Saturday, July 12th will receive a throwback long sleeve shirt courtesy of Miller Children's and Women's Hospital. Visit angels.com/promotions today. Well, off to a good start here tonight in the rubber game of this 3-game series. Angels trying to win this series in Atlanta first time. They could win a series here since 2005, not at Truist Park, Turner Field. Only the 27th all-time meeting between the two.
That is really amazing.
Yeah.
Every time I think and hear that number.
Atlanta has the edge 14-12. That was the big game last night. Neither team has swept the other in this series. Taylor Ward with a good walk in the first, and that one is hit well, but not deep enough. Just got under that as Profar backs up, makes the play for the first out of the third, brings up Joe Adell.
Yeah, he had a serious launch angle, 44 degrees. Patio, I think he just hit it too high.
Yeah, I think you're right. 14-game hitting streak for Joe. Now, listen, it's possible he can be the guy that gets added to the All-Star team here in Atlanta. Not including tonight, the base hit, hitting 340, slashing 340, 421, 680 during the 13-game hitting streak. Now it's at 14.
Yeah, he's 47 RBI, still has a number of games left before that those extra players are announced, which is going to be Sunday.
That's right.
So in a good hitter-friendly ballpark up in Toronto.
There's another one. Just another smash base hit for Joe Adell. He's 2 for 2.
The exit velocity just continues on for Adell. That was just 103. Just 103.
And he's got Dad Scott, who was an O-lineman at NC State and played in the NFL with the Saints.
He's slugging well over 600 against breaking balls this season, which a pitch he struggled with in his past. Not anymore.
It is great to see. Jorge Soler at the dish. Takes a strike. Joe Adell 2 for 2, 14-game hitting streak, leading this team in OPS. Now try to get Soler against his former team. Get him going with the Halos. That one on the outside edge of the plate for strike 2.
Patio, when you see the difference, or you're watching a game at home, You mentioned a 44-degree launch angle for Taylor Ward hitting high in the air. Adell's was 12-degree. That was on the line. That's when we talk about launch angle, the difference between where the baseball goes and flies through the air. It's better on the line. I know sometimes people talk about, you know, spin rates. Is it really worth it? Launch angles. Well, there's the difference between a 44-degree launch angle with 100-mile-x velocity. A lot of time that baseball has a chance of getting out.
Yes. For
Taylor Ward. But then that 12-degree, that's a line shot from Adell.
One runs in on Soler, 1-2. If Adell hits at 103 with a 32-degree launch angle.
Well, that's somebody in the stands might be in trouble.
He's locked in. Stay the course, Joe Adell. He's carrying this team for well over a month, 55 games. It's the third of the season that Joe Adell's absolutely locked in.
Yeah. And we saw those splits when we talked about it earlier today. I mean, the numbers. I mean, from
walks up,
the first 25%. That's the big thing. Walks are up, strikeouts are down. So he's bringing pitches in the strike zone to do the damage.
Adell at first, 1 out and a 1-2 to Soler. Well, that's called for a strike 3. That is a tough one to take for Soler. Culpa is calling them all over. All the shadow pitches are called strikes here tonight. That'll bring up Logan O'Hoppe. Grounded out, tapped it. The bases loaded, stranded 3 to end the first. Zelder working towards 60 pitches already here in the third. And that is hit well out to left field. That one gets down. That's a knock for O'Hoppe. That's a nice swing. Good approach. Easy swing, base hit.
That's what he has to do every single time at the plate because he's so strong. Just relax the hands, through the baseball. That's 109 miles per hour off the bat. 109. Didn't try to force the issue. Just simplified his approach. And he went down and got that pitch right there and lines it that hard on a sinker.
Hoppe, who had his average drop down to 228 entering today. I'm sure that one feels good to get that knock. Rengifo at the plate, struck out the first time.
On a very similar pitch as that one right there, down and in. He's done a real nice job on that pitch over the last couple of seasons, whether laying off of that pitch or making good contact with it.
You know, for Rengifo, the question is he going to stay at he's playing so well at third base defensively right now, rather than move him, you know, to second base with Moore going out and having Stevens maybe play third because he's been playing a lot of shortstop. It's easier for Stevens to be up the middle and keep Giffey where he is. Also at the plate, multi-hit games 4 of his last 6 since early June. Seems like he's picked up his game.
And he's been really solid with 2 strikes on him too, and he's hit a lot of those baseballs left center. That's why you see Profar playing a little more shallow and left against him, especially now with 2 strikes.
Luis will go the other way. And that one is called strike 3. Well, nothing he can do with that one. Pretty good pitch there from Elder. And it's 3-0. Bottom 3 next. Soriano has got the sinker, upper 90s, knuckle curve, slider, and he can throw that sinker into lefties. I really like his portfolio working here tonight.
Yeah, especially because he's gotten a couple ground ball outs that last half inning. He's not I mean, he'll get his strikeouts, but you love when he gets those quick ground ball outs. Allows him to go deep in the game.
Nick Allen, 9-hitter, then Acuna Jr. and Olsen. Knuckle curve, get over, strike one.
Great spot. We're going to see his father-in-law on Monday, Brett Boone.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting when those two play each other.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Hitting coach now for the Texas Rangers.
Oh, there is a strikeout, a big chase on a breaking knuckle curve from Jose Soriano. That's his 4th strikeout. Let's go back last night. Here's a breaking ball for strikeout number 3,000 for Clayton Kershaw. A slider, which wasn't working for him all night. The 4th lefty to reach 3,000 strikeouts. The 3rd to do it with just one team. That's a special moment in baseball.
Yeah, his family all being there, his kids. I mean, when you look at his strikeout to walk ratio, over 4-to-1 in his career. He's got a winning percentage of almost 700, 697 to go along with 3,000 strikeouts.
1-0 here to Acuna Jr. There's a little ground ball handled by Nolan Shonowell. Let's bring in Erica. Erica, you spoke to Chris Taylor.
Yeah, longtime teammate of Kersh, obviously. He said just so happy for him, and because our game was done early enough, he was able to go back to the hotel, put it on TV, so he got to see it happen. He said it was so dramatic the way that it happened, too. He was getting nervous for him, especially towards the end as the pitch count was going up, but just so happy for him and to see the reaction of all the guys, his wife Ellen, all of his kids there. He's one of the best to ever do it, and he's had to evolve throughout the course of his career, but he just competes and finds a way to get it done no matter what.
20th all-time pitcher to reach 3,000 strikeouts.
And you think about it, is that might be the last guy doing it? I mean, Chris Sale is pretty close.
He's about less than 500.
Yeah, and then you got Garrett Cole, who you think might have a shot himself.
Less than 800. You're right, but after that, it's going to be tough to get 3,000 strikeouts the way the game is played right now. That's pitched very well by Soriano so far.
Here's a great view of the difference between the 44-degree launch angle with Taylor Ward and the 12-degree launch angle for Jo Adell, where the baseball is hit and why that baseball goes up higher. He's creating backspin there, Taylor Ward. Most times be able to get that out of the ballpark, just missed that, but that baseball's hit directly right in the middle of the barrel in that 12-degree launch angle for Jo Adell for a rocket single. So that's why when we talk about launch angle, that's the difference you'll see as far as how you hit the ball in the air as far as on the ground.
That was a good look at that for sure. I thought Taylor Ward, the way he had that big cut at it, and the launch angle, thought it off the bat had a chance. Chad Stevens just led off, wasn't wasting any time. Another ground ball, going to try somebody else as he grounds out to Austin Riley in his second major league at bat.
Yeah, a lot of times, especially when you're a young player getting that chance at the major league level, you're going to be up there swinging quickly, and that's exactly what the case was.
Yeah, 2-5-3 ground outs for Stevens. The night is young. And for Zach Neto, he has singled, scored, doubled, scored. That's a stolen base.
It's third at bat already, and it's the fourth inning.
Fly ball, center field, hit well. Michael Harris going back at the wall. It's gone! Zach Neto. He's singled, he's doubled, and he's homered. In his first 3 at-bats, it's 4-0 Angels.
Boy, this is a triple away from the cycle for Magneto. 105 off the bat. See the launch angle. The exit velocity, launch angle, the lift, and the backspin on the baseball goes 408. What a swing.
What a game.
He came out today, was talking to Eric and I on the pregame. Before that, he said he had a good smile on his face. It looked good because, you know, the last few games he's been getting himself out, trying to do too much. His swing is so much more relaxed today.
Neto, 13th homer, 30th RBI, 16th double earlier, 14th stolen base. Look out. He might put himself in the mix here for the All-Star game. Not many shortstops in the game have these types of numbers.
And I'm looking at this outfield here, Truist Park. There's a triple in this outfield, believe me. Although these guys catch generally anything, it's not over the wall.
He should get at least 2 more cracks at it, and 100% he's going to be trying to rip something down the line or go the other way, hit something in the corner.
It's good to see him smiling too.
And Shawnuel, last time up 2-run home run in the second to drive in Neto. Another bomb to center field.
You always got to worry anytime Harris goes back on anything, really. It's got to be way over the wall.
And Shawnuel draws a walk. So another look.
That was a fastball. The sinker was middle, and it was elevated enough. Neto hits elevated fastballs extremely well, and that's exactly what he did. It's an impressive swing going right center that far.
Neto knew it. Elder knew it. Murphy knew it.
Look at that.
Zach Neto fan.
Yes.
Beautiful. You're going to see a lot more of those jerseys. Oh, wow. Trout just wears one.
Definitely don't think there's any intent on that whatsoever.
Mike Trout, why would you do that? We'll see where he got him.
Get some rate on that padding, a little bit on that rib area and back.
Hopefully the padding took the brunt of it. There's no way to get out of the way of that.
No, it's running out. That's when you drop your wrist at all on a sinker, Patio. There's no way a right-handed batter is getting out of the way of a right-handed sinker like that.
Speaking
Trust me
as
from
a man with experience,
it may have
Not
gotten
that
away
you-
every once in a while.
You lead the Royals in hit batters, wild pitches, strikeouts.
No, I was passed.
You got passed in
By
strikeouts.
Kevin Aber, but walks though, I'm proud of that one too. It's a lot of traffic.
Well, you won
self-created traffic too, by the way, with the hit batters and walks.
Two-time All-Star World Series champ, 20-game winner, well north of 100 wins. 138.
32.
32.
It's not quite 3,000 strikeouts like Kershaw, though.
You got half? You got halfway?
Yeah, about close to that.
Nice.
Yeah, oh yeah. 3,000. I couldn't even imagine he'd be able to lift my arm up if I got 3,000 strikeouts. That sounds incredible about Kershaw. And he's still relatively young, too.
Right. I mean, his first strikeout came in 2008, and his 3,000th came in 2025. So he's had a little bit longer career than you, but it wasn't like he's like known as a strikeout pitcher.
Just a great pitcher.
1,371 strikeouts from a partner, Mark Gubaza. And you did have the record, the Royals record for some time. You got passed by Greinke, did you not, in a game? Was it 14 you had?
Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up.
I appreciate that.
But it was a record. You're a Hall of Famer. Got a longer career in this booth than you did on the field.
Yes. I'm having a blast, though.
Adell 2 for 2. As Ward flew out to right. Good base running by Nolan Shonowell. We've seen that in this series as he tags up. So first and third, 2 outs with the hottest hitter in the game right now, Joe Adell, 14-game hitting streak.
It's important, too, to get to third base, too, because if he gets ahead of Joe Adell, he has that pretty nasty slider that you take away that one, it might bounce. He's throwing about 40% of his pitches are his slider.
He's recognizing pitches when it is still in the guy's hand. He's so locked in. A good count here. Runners at the corners. 4-0 Halos here, top 4.
Aggressive 2-0 swing on that one. He's a low ball hitter, too, so that's why you saw him go after that one more so than he would normally would with 2 strikes. 2-0 count, pitch down, trying to do damage. Don't blame him.
So pulls that one foul. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes to Joe Adell.
Halos picked up 3 more walks today. You're starting to see that more for the club. Is that on-base percentage, team on-base percentage is getting closer to that 300 mark, which you would love it well over 300.
Yep.
But it was been down there around that 280 mark for a long time, up to now 296 coming into the game today.
Fouled at the plate. Team batting average 228. Runs a game 4.31, but it's a steady, slow, but a steady incline as the team tries to get back to 500 once again, and then go up to Toronto and try to get over the hump.
Who are playing extremely well themselves. They're
entering today,
taking it to town on the Yankees. They're up again.
Going for the
tie with them.
Going for the sweep, and they are tied atop the AL East. Suddenly the Yankees could be in the wild card mix.
And they played great at home. They're 28-16, the Jays at home.
Full count. This Braves team 24-18 at home. It's the road they have been struggling. 15-28, 13 games under, and 7 games under overall. 39-46. Trout on the move. 3 straight pitches that Joe Adell has fouled off at the plate.
If the Halos are able to win this game today, they'd be 23-23 on the road, 20-20 at home. That's about as 500 as you can be.
And 43-43 on the dot. It has been quite a stretch of baseball hovering around the 500 mark. Trout on the move again. Hit hard, but handled by Nick Allen as he throws across and retires Joe Adell. Not easy to do. So Elder out of a jam, but not in this game for long.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
At MLBshop.com, you can get all the latest officially licensed merchandise for you and your family. But if you really want to level up your game, you can grab something for your dog walker, your Pilates instructor, your swim coach, your neighbor, your accountant, your gardener, your best friend, your bandmate, your boss, your kid's teacher, your mailman. Visit MLBshop.com and stock up on officially licensed on-field merchandise from your favorite teams.
Okay. Join your Halos during select games throughout the season for our Heritage-themed ticket packages. Each ticket package purchased through angels.com/heritage includes a customized jersey along with a ticket to the game. Fans must purchase through angels.com/heritage to receive their special jersey. Oh, which one are you going with? Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they all. Actually, I'll take them all. Every one of them.
All right. Well, you do it. When is your birthday? It's coming up. Did I pass it? I miss it?
No, it's August.
Okay.
That's a long, long way.
Months away. So I have time, Heritage, to know what he wants. All 5, though. I don't know.
Come on, Patio.
I can swing that.
We've known each other forever.
1 for every 5 years of knowing you. Soriano facing Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna.
What a great sinker.
Jurickson Profar.
So he got him to chase that sinker below the strike zone. He also threw him a breaking ball to start the sequence. So he's got a couple options. In zone, he's very difficult to get out. Out of zone, Chase is better. He's on that fastball there a little bit.
Riley, a strikeout victim back in the first. For Soriano, who, is it fair to say, inconsistent this year? Because his stuff is great. Last year, 20 starts. He had a lower ERA, a lower opponent batting average.
Wow. I wouldn't say it after that pitch anymore. No.
Well,
that knuckleball had some serious run and bite to it. You know, when it comes down to Patio, is still, he's learning his craft as a starting pitcher. He's really, you know, he's out of the bullpen for a while, back and forth to that. But you're seeing now, at times, there's no one with better stuff than him in baseball. Now, it's just finding that consistent stuff when you don't have one of your pitches working. That's what he's got to figure it out. He's got them all working tonight. But when he doesn't have a knuckle curve, like I mentioned earlier today, or even his slider, he still has his fastball that he can get outs with, and he can go to his splitter. Sometimes he lets one of those pitches that's not working for him affect him.
So when you don't have your best pitch working for you in a game, does it come down to the communication with the catcher, with your pitching coach? How did you make that adjustment?
Just this with the catcher, and then I start reading hitters. And if they're saying, okay, he doesn't have a slider going, I'm sitting fastball, I said, that's fine. You can sit fastball. I'm going to start on the corner. I'll go a little further off, and you're going to still swing at it, and then I'm going to get quick outs. Then maybe as the game progresses, I get my slider working. If it doesn't, as long as they're making outs on the ground, and he has that kind of fastball, he's going to get majority of his hits against him on the ground.
2-2 as the knuckle curve is fouled back by Ozuna. Like, I feel like for Jose Soriano, if the Angels had one game to win, let's say it's right now the way all, because the Angels have only used 5 starters. It's a franchise record. They're the only team in baseball that have only used 5 starters. Like, I would want to pick Jose Soriano, even though Kikuchi has been perhaps going to be the all-star pitcher because of his stuff.
His stuff is so electric. When he's on a game, there's no one better. It's just, like I said, it's a matter of starting to believe in yourself. If one pitch is not working, you can go to another.
Count runs full here on Marcell Ozuna.
This is where the trust is right now. You can go right back to your sinker, or you can try to get him to chase your knuckle curve.
So that's ball 4. So it had Ozuna ahead of him, but loses him for a 1-out walk to bring up Jurickson Profar.
And I think this too, sometimes with Soriano, he allows that walk to affect him sometimes. And he shouldn't, because he's always one pitch away from 2 outs. He's got 19 double plays turned behind. The next one would be number 20 on the season. Profar is up there hacking. See if he can throw that sinker away, get it on the ground.
Well, the Braves really missed Profar when he was suspended for those 80 games, came back last night, and immediate impact. Homer had a big base hit that chased Kikuchi. If the Braves were somehow to be able to rally to make the postseason like they did last year, they ended up losing to the Padres in the wild card round. Profar would not be eligible for the postseason.
See, this is where you got to get back in the mindset. You cannot give away free passes. And that's the biggest thing for him this season, really, has been the free passes.
And 45 walks coming in. The whip also, walks and hits per innings pitched, up for Soriano from a year ago. Taylor Ward going back on that ball, well struck by Profar, but he is there to retire him for the second out of the fourth.
It's a pretty good swing the other way, but it's an out. That's all you got to think of when you're on the mound here. Sometimes when you fall behind, you got to challenge with that sinker, and he got an out. Even though it was hit hard, it's still an out. Free passes are created by you on the mound.
Yep. Ozzie Albies, 1 on, 2 out, 4-0 Angels. Sinker in towards his back knee for ball 1. So 6 nights ago, 8 earned runs against Soriano against the Nationals. Ended up getting a no decision in that game. Halos lost 15-9, and that is in there. The sinker, that is the strike it's unhittable.
In a fairly generous zone, he's calling those shadow pitches. When you have stuff like this, got to throw strikes. The shadow pitches with 97, 99.
There's a ground ball handled by Stevens on the backhand to retire Albies, and Soriano with another scoreless frame here in Atlanta.
Next. Right this second, at some movie theater somewhere.
Which one? Popcorn and...
Someone really wants a soda. But soda's like something you drink on the weekends. And today's only Tuesday.
Soda, please.
Take your time.
Mom!
What if there were a better soda?
Kate, I brought the puppy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, that was actually kind of easy.
They don't pay me enough anyway.
5 grams of sugar. Pass me one. No, I can't. I'm just a voice.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis, but Sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than old-school pills. Plus, tadalafil, the active ingredient in Cialis, stays in your system for long-lasting results. Faster acting and long-lasting? We got you. See if Sparks are right for you at ro.co/sparks.
Player for a minute, right, Gooby?
Yeah, quite a bit. That baseball was out in less than a second, though.
And that was like a big relief. There was a pool going on when 200 would be hit. Jeff Fletcher, he set up the pool and he won it. Now, all of us were like it's rigged, but Soler, that had to feel good. Made it 8-3. Angels still lost the game. That one is called a strike. Slider.
The interesting thing about that home run by Soler, because it was hit in the 9th inning, the fans all left with the baseball.
Yeah. Erica, do you have more on that big blast?
Not really. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, he hit that home run in the 9th inning. They certainly efforted to try to get that big milestone home run ball back, but the fan left, so it went MIA. They have yet to celebrate him inside. They're waiting for a win, so hopefully, fingers crossed tonight, that will come for Jorge Soler.
What kind of celebration can he expect?
I don't know. You never know what Busty's got up his sleeve.
That's true. I heard about Fermin's. Had all of those condiments on the 2 hot dogs that you guys told me about here in Atlanta. Soler strikes out, first out.
Yeah, mustard I could hang with, maybe, but the relish, that would set me back a little bit.
Or what if they threw onions on you?
Oh, I'd be really gone. This might as well throw mushrooms there, too, and I'd really be gone.
You got your first win, you got a handshake.
They'll
right?
say, hey, they just said, hey, about time. Better be better next time.
What was it like coming up with all those veterans?
It was great because they kept you grounded. Right after the game, they said, great job, but start being ready for your next start in about an hour from now. All right, I'll be ready to go.
And if you took too long on the mound.
Oh, yeah.
Right? These guys are like, hurry up.
Yeah, they weren't real happy. Hey, you want us to make plays? Work quickly and throw strikes. Otherwise, we're not going to be happy.
Veterans that played every single game, much like these Braves.
I mean, you don't even have to look at the lineup. It's every day. It's the same. I mean, for years, it's the same lineup every day.
Have a lot of talent. Championship pedigree, championship manager. Hoppe, that is ripped, but just foul. What a nice swing last time up, base hit in the third. And was looking for extra bases there. And mentioned the Chad Stevens, the seventh. Chad, great first name, by the way.
Oh, tremendous name.
In case Chad Gubaza is tuning in. And the seventh Angel to make their big league debut this season. And so a lot of these guys are coming up with a Mike Trout in the locker room, who is now that leader. Going to take them under his wing.
Got a lot of really good ones. You get Kenley Jansen, Travis d'Arnaud, Jorge Soler.
Another base hit for Logan Hoppe. So 2 for his last 2 with base hits to left field.
That's what you want to see. Just that good swing before you're going to see him try to drive the ball and get it out of the ballpark to stay on it. That was 109 miles per hour. That's how strong he is when he's just relaxed with his hands at the plate. Not trying to do more than he can do. Just have that good swing there and be right on there with direct contact to the baseball.
Positive signs for Hoppe. Luis Rengifo. Now how is that not called a strike when everything else has been? Giffey earned himself a ball. He struck out swinging back in the second, looking in the third. 1 on 1 out, a 4-0 Angels lead here. Softly hit, it's over the head. This is going to be a tough play for Albies, and he makes it to get Rengifo barehanded.
That was a great play.
Wow.
What a play.
Tremendous play.
We talk about this defense for the Braves, and that was on display right there. I didn't think he'd have a shot, and he made that easy with the bare hand.
Also, there was a little bit of traffic with Elder going back.
Yeah, he had the slap shot screen. I mean, that was effortless.
Yep. That's great baseball. He's a fun player to watch.
The key was getting underneath with the hand of the baseball there. If you try to on top of it, you're not going to make that play, and clearly got him by that stride.
Here's Chad Stevens, third MLB at bat. 0 for 2, takes a strike.
He'll get a base hit, maybe an RBI. Knock it all out here.
Born in Walnut Grove, California. Parents Kim and Gary Stevens. He was raised up in Washington, Fox Island, Washington. I mentioned Gig Harbor High School state champs, and then went to the University of Portland. Now he's in the show. Looking for a base hit. Oh my goodness, you didn't just do it again. Riley gets him to take away his first big league knock. It's unfair.
That's that great range. He's a Gold Glove winner. Not quite as crisp this year defensively, but we've been seeing it here on display. Gets up quickly and throws him out by a stride.
The life of Riley.
All right. So that's one pair of glasses.
Yep.
With prescription lenses. Plus anti-reflective lens coating.
Oh.
Scratch-resistant coating.
Did I choose?
UV protection. Award-winning customer service.
That's me.
That's also me. Free returns, free exchanges, and free frame adjustments for life.
And how much more is that?
Oh, it's all included at Warby Parker.
So my glasses
are still just $95.
Oh.
Surprise! I just get excited.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tip pick.
What did you say?
Tip pick. Tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
Register your little angel for the 2025 Junior Angels Kids Club, presented by OC Waste and Recycling. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers, a Zach Neto headband. I'm down for that, and a lot more for only $20. Visit angels.com/juniorangels for more info. Back in the 80s, it was in fashion to rock the headband.
Yes.
Right?
By the way, were they texting you right away there, Patrick? I think they were texting.
Those kids were.
Oh, yes.
Let me check. Yes, they were. They too want the Zach Neto headband.
Oh,
Done.
Yes.
Jose Soriano here, the bottom of the 5th, facing Sean Murphy, who had the big 3-run home run to give the Braves the lead. They scored 7 runs in the 6th last night. They had scored 7 runs, the Braves, in their previous 5 games combined. So it's a team that had been struggling offensively, and that is just foul by about a foot or 2.
Yeah, that knuckle curve stayed on the inner half right into his. He's got that swing path. Remember, he hit that cutter out yesterday against Zephyr. It was down middle. He had a tough time with high fastballs yesterday from Kikuchi. Punched him out twice. So you wonder if Ohapi might go either that 4-seam fastball above the belt or try to get him to chase something well off the plate.
Just outside.
He went to that 4-seamer, though. He tried to.
He's got some pinpoint control tonight, and a knuckle curve breaking about 3 feet. Nice low pitch count. 62 here in the 5th for Soriano. Getting into that 7th inning, so important for these Halo starters. Well, just poked at. Rengifo cuts in front of Neto, throws across. Tough throw, but an excellent play by Shonowell.
Good footwork for Shonowell, too, to be able to make that tag. I think more than, I mean, you'll see Neto probably say to Rengifo, that's my play, but I think if you could save a throw every once in a while from Neto, it's not a bad thing.
That's a great point, right? Because in the first game of the series, for Neto throwing across his body, I know Erica might have more on that, but for Shonowell to come off the bag and make that tag, that's a great big league play. So I wonder if that's, in a sense, what Rengifo's trying to do. That is hammered to center field. Joe Adell calls for it on the track near the wall and makes the play to take extras away from Michael Harris. Good play from Adell in center there.
A 280 career hitter, a 380 career hitter against the Angels. And he's hit the baseball well in the series, but that's a good play by Joe Adell. Right at the wall there in left center.
380's a lot better than 280. It's a heck of a difference.
Yes.
Bring that average down. Good power going the opposite way. Nick Allen, the number 9 hitter, strikeout victim, back in the 3rd. And 5 Ks so far for Soriano tonight. No runs. That's softly hit. That needs to go foul, and it does. No chance of getting Allen if that stays fair. Who's John out of down there, do you think? You got Goins. Most certainly would be my top pick. Unless it's Erica, who's right nearby. Travis d'Arnaud, all smiles. And you're right. Travis brings such great leadership and a sense of calm.
Yes, he understands, you know, it's a long season. There's some ups and downs, but being relaxed and that allows you to, you know, your muscles to relax, have a better approach at the plate, on the mound, in the field.
It meant a lot to him to have this appearance here last night and to get that nice warm reception from the crowd.
He is extremely popular here.
Yes.
As is Ron Washington still. As Hopper showed his bobblehead today.
That was a great, that could be trending on social platforms. We'll have to check on that. For EY, also for Eric Young Sr., his plate has been full.
Yeah, he's been moving all over, talking to all the guys over there with the Braves fans all day long and all night long. And this is where the concentration level has to be here. I mentioned about those 2-out walks for Soriano. Got to get right back in there, force Nick Allen to hit the ball right here.
Here's the 3-1. And he lost him. That's ball 4. A 2-out walk here in the 5th. So it comes down to concentration. Is that essentially what happens? Yep. Sometimes the old, I know that wasn't 2 outs, 2-0, but you can almost visualize yourself
getting out of the inning and walking in. You got to lock down.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about that 2-out walk, how that has hurt him, and even Kohanowitz too, both with excellent stuff. Just make them hit the ball on the ground. And you can see right there, just by Ray Montgomery and Barry Enright, that's the kind of look. Like, all right, you walked a number 9 hitter, and now you have to face this hitter right now.
Yeah, if you walk Nick Allen to face somebody like Nick Allen, that's one thing, but this is Ronald Acuna Jr.
I mean, Nick Allen is a tremendous glove. Tremendous glove. He's going to put the ball in play. He doesn't strike out, but you want to make him swing the bat.
Acuna Jr. missing 50 games to start the season, but so popular. And kudos to the Atlanta fans and across baseball to vote this superstar as an NL All-Star, leading all the outfielders in votes in the National League. Knuckle curve over for a strike. Great spot, good start.
Especially if you're able to throw that for a strike. Now you can possibly get a chase out of the strike zone on a secondary pitch.
Well,
straightens him up there with 97.
His MVP season, one of the most exciting seasons that baseball has ever seen. A threat in every aspect of the game.
I mean, Shohei was a 50-50 guy, but 40-70 is incredible. And playing right field.
Acuna 0 for 2. 2-1. And falls behind 3-1. Matt Olson on deck. That's a big bat. A grand slam last night. Big pitch here for Soriano here. 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. That's hit hard. Neto.
Wow, was that hit hard?
Handles it with ease. Goes the short way to retire Allen.
112.
Just an out. For Zach Attack, a single, a double, and a homer. It is today's Arco top-tier play, and now a chance for a cycle.
I mean, and throw in a stolen base in there also. I mean, what a game he's had already. Then he had to field a 112-mile-an-hour rocket at him to finish off the inning at short.
He's filling up the box score, no doubt. 3 runs scored.
I think he's got a shot at it if he can get it to right center field. Well, there's some great arms and great coverage out there, that part of the field.
When you were in the dugout, and let's say, I don't know, George Brett's working on a triple, they talking about it?
Oh, there's immediately.
It's not something that you have to avoid, right? They're going to say, I'm going to be trying to pull the baseball down into the corner.
Remember Jared Walsh when he hit for the cycle?
That's right.
It had, you had the center fielder diving for the baseball, and then he ended up being a triple for his cycle.
That was the last Angel to hit for the cycle. Jared Walsh, June 11th, 2022. He's not going to get a triple out of this. That would be impossible. High throw just to get Neto at first. That is Senor de los Santos just on the bump in relief to make the play. So Angels to hit for the cycle. Fergozzi, the only one to do it twice. Dan Ford, it's Disco Dan Ford, Dave Winfield, Devan and Figgins, Trouty, Shohei, his rookie season.
That was down there in St. Pete.
That's right. And Jared Walsh.
Remember Trouts too, he hit a rocket for a home run his last at bat to right center field. Low pitch, hit out to Big A.
Where do you think hitters that have hit for the cycle rank it as far as individual accomplishments? Like you could have a 3-homer game with 8 ribbies.
I think the cycle is up pretty high on the list of something. If you're able to accomplish that, that's pretty amazing.
It's about as rare as a no-hitter, right? It's almost tougher to accomplish, is it not?
Yes. I remember that when Dave Winfield hit for the cycle for the Angels against the Royals. I remember being there for that one. He got his triple off Bill Bakota, our third baseman normally. He had a triple off him at dead center field.
He hit it off of your third baseman?
Yeah, he came in to pitch that game, which you never used to see all that often back a few years ago.
We don't need to know the date, but we can look it up on Winfield. It was actually on the screen.
Yes,
actually,
yes.
we know the year. Here's Nolan Shotwell. Swings through the changeup from De Los Santos. Yeah, it's 2-2. Pretty good job there by Soriano because it was hit hard, but he didn't walk him. You challenge the hitter, hit my best stuff.
That's what you want to do.
You got fielders out there. Shotwell just hits the ball so well on the button, but right to Albies, and there's 2 down.
Tell you what, he just hits the ball all over the place.
Here is Mike Trout. It is tonight's Kia player profile. Just wait for Trouty to heat up, but the hardest hit rate, the highest hard hit rate since June 1st. Mike Trout top of the list. Does that surprise you?
I mean, he's hit a lot of baseballs on the line when he's made contact, including even last night on the single he hit.
Well, that's positive signs for Mike, who puts so much work into his swing. And he's just a designated hitter right now, and this appears to be the case, at least going through this All-Star break. The most important thing is to have his bat in the lineup. If it's the rest of the year, it is. In fact, nobody's even asking the question anymore.
No, I mean, it lengthens out that lineup, and everyone's better because he's in that lineup.
His adjustment is being, mentally involved in the game, right?
He's gotten better this season, though. He knew he was going to do a lot of DH, and even after he got hurt last year and coming back into the offseason, knew he was going to make that move over to right field, but a lot more DH, and he's doing a lot of it now.
He's got a 3-0 count.
And bottom line is he's not going up and hitting in the cages after in a bat all the time, because that's how you wear yourself out.
Well, he's reached base.
Stay engaged in the game in the dugout.
That's right. Reach base.
That's what you do as a position player.
And hit and walked. And then brings up Taylor Ward.
That's 4 walks in the game for the Halos, along with a hit by pitch. So Trout on base twice.
They've only struck out 5 times, and just to hear you say those walks, I mean, for the majority of the season, the most strikeouts and the fewest walks, and it's starting to even out.
Yeah, it's getting there.
A lot better. Taylor Ward walked, got as far as 3rd in the 1st.
He lives with 8 hits, the 4 walks, and a hit by pitch. So they've had some base runners here, and they've capitalized with a 4-0 lead against the Braves.
And that's a fly ball right field. Acuna drifting over. That's snowman's land. As Olsen can't get there. Can Acuna? That's a lot of foul ground. Long way to run. And Taylor Ward.
It's really amazing what he's still doing at such an early age. Acuna Jr. having surgeries on both knees already. Still running very well and still hitting the ball extremely well.
He'll probably want to limit his stolen bases, right? Just
at least through this year, possibly. I don't know if you can slow him down ever if he decides he wants to go again.
That's true. Still so young. No, not called. De Los Santos wanted that pitch. Slider. Called the ball. 1-2 here to Taylor Ward.
Break there for Taylor Ward here. Now see if he can get a good swing now.
And he does. Rips that one. Profar dives. It gets by him. Mike Trout rounding third. He's going to score. Taylor Ward digging for third. The relay not in time.
There's that triple.
There's the triple.
That's what you needed, outfielder diving.
Exactly.
And just like that, a pitch not called ends up resulting in a run on the triple. Second triple of the season for Taylor Ward and another RBI. And that's the difference between the last at bat. Remember, he flew out with a 44-degree launch angle. Just a 15-degree launch angle. So he's got this right on the barrel as compared to backspin on the pitch before where you hit that fly ball deep in left field.
Well, just Profar's second game back after missing 80 with the suspension. And he lays out. And the whiff brings up Joe Adell.
Love those add-on runs here as the game progresses. What a break that was for Taylor Ward. Took advantage of it. Hits a rocket.
8th career triple for Taylor Ward, now at third with 2 outs. And Joe Adell has a 14-game hitting streak. A couple of knocks and an RBI single. Back in the first.
58 RBIs now for Taylor Ward.
Those are big numbers. 20 homers, 58 ribbies, 20 doubles. If MLB is listening, who will they select? Certainly, those are deserving numbers to be an all-star.
By the way, a 2-out walk to Trout results in a run. I don't know why that always is the case, but it happens so often.
See if it adds to another one.
It comes down to is you've been told forever, whenever you've been playing baseball, don't walk that guy with 2 outs. So it's a mental thing and a negative thought in your head. And then before you know it, a big inning goes against you.
Oh. That one called. That one about 2.5 baseballs off the plate. For whatever reason, the pitch to Ward not called. Mea culpa. We'll be right back. What we're seeing tonight from Jose Soriano is really similar to the 3 starts in a row he had after the start at Boston. This is lights out stuff. It's
yeah, good. He's got a great feel for his knuckle curve. His sinker has been back to that velocity. He said the other day it was down to about 95, 96. It's back up at 99, 98.
Comparison of tonight's starters. Bryce Elder on the verge, if score stays the same, of losing his 5th straight start. And Soriano continues to pitch here into the 6th. See how deep he could get into this game. Only 75 pitches. Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, ground ball. Shotwell fields Soriano. That's why you have that PFP. That's excellent work there.
I like the sequence. He went splitter down, sinker down. And we've seen Matt Olson hit everything that's been upstairs hard. Not so much when it's down in the strike zone or a little bit low, and he got a ground ball out, quick one on that one.
How do you think that Shotwell is ranked defensively? I mean, we can look at the stats and what the computer spits out on defensive runs saved, but he made a great play on a throw up the line from Rengifo, 4 and out, and that's a nice hard hit ball. Backhand, nice easy feed, and he has the good footwork around the back.
He's getting there. There's still some work there, you know, as far as sometimes instincts during the course of a game like we saw against the Nationals at home the other day, but he's getting there. As far as his ability to scoop low throws, excellent. Footwork around the base on throws off the bag, very, very good. It's all just, you know, there's those plays sometimes that come about where it's hit at you quickly there. Instead of going to the bag, you throw right at the home plate. It's all, you know, he's still so young. He hasn't played that long at the major league level, but it's getting there for him.
I feel like that game was an outlier for him. It was a tough game on a lot of levels. Those were big plays, late, crucial situation, and learning lessons. Still so young. Ground ball right to a fielder. Soriano lets it go by, and Stevens is there in his first big league game. He's handled all of his chances pretty well so far.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. And I go back to Ryan Goins. They were out early today working on some things. I mentioned about just getting those legs a little bit more spread, be able to have a little more range and stay down on the baseball. And so far, so good at second base.
We'll have to find out after the game what kind of nerves he has been experiencing.
Well, I know one nerve he doesn't like is Austin Riley.
That guy's getting on his nerves.
Yes.
100%. Ozuna, they're trying to attack Soriano early in counts here.
I would. If I'm a hitter,
yeah,
because you don't want to deal with his secondary pitches, and you start looking for that, he can still get his fastball by you.
Great velo. That's the 4-seamer down and away.
I mean, the batting average against his first pitch put in play is .444. It's 20 for 45. So as a hitter, you got to think I got to be ready against Soriano.
Ground ball in the hole past Rengifo. Off his glove. And Ozuna is aboard, a 2-out base hit. Jerickson Profar will come to the plate. 5 2/3 is right that spot that Kikuchi was at last night when he ended up leaving the game, and it was this inning where the 7 runs were scored. Let's get past this one.
Just off the glove. Hit in the right place.
Sinker at 97 for a strike from Soriano. 4-2 on the road with a 2.78 ERA and 9 road starts. This is his 10th on the road.
Backdoor to knuckle curve. Remember, he hit a pretty good shot that Taylor Ward ran down last at bat on a pretty good sinker to going down and away too.
Good stop by Ohapi. Keep it right there. Ozuna not moving anywhere. It's an important ball game for the Halos. Get back to 500, but this series upcoming with Toronto is going to be tough because they're beating the New York Yankees 5-3 in the 5th, looking to sweep them, go into first place, and move 11 games over 500. What have you noticed why they're playing so well?
They're pitching much better. Their offense, we saw them early in the season, which the Angels won that series against the Jays. They were not swinging the bats well, but they are now.
Oh, that one is fouled at the plate. Oh, a swing and a miss. Kept in front by Ohapi. And a strikeout. As Profar is retired, and that is 6 scoreless for Soriano. Compassionate expert care for everyone in the region. Learn more at ucihealth.org. And my Jack in the Box gets so much more in the new T-Pain Munchie Meal. A big game from Nolan Shonowell and Zach Neto, each going deep center field for homers, and a 4-0 lead here tonight in Atlanta at Truist Park. New pitcher Austin Cox on the left-hander to face Jorge Soler, Logan O'Hoppe, and Luis Rengifo. Angels trying to win this series and get back to 500 once again. Talked to a number of different players today, and they just kind of like, yeah, just got to get over the hump.
Yeah, it's all about winning today. That's all that matters.
That's it. Like you said, I believe it was last week, it's all about winning series right now. You do that, rest of the way, you'll find yourself in the playoffs.
So odd seeing that name on the back of a jersey and not being Bobby. He was such a tremendous manager for the Braves, a Hall of Famer. Hopefully he's doing well.
It's a record for divisions won in a row, is it not? It's a little pop-up. And Soler's retired. Right outside the press box here, did you see the nachos in the helmet? It was like a Dale Murphy Braves helmet with brisket nachos.
Yes.
Those were calling my name. You see the giant ice cream cooler with like 17 different kinds of ice cream. Nobody was around. I so wanted to get in there. Whoa. Not that I will.
Give it a shot, Patio.
For my last game. I know I'm spending the night.
Everyone around in the stadium is amazing.
Really cool people.
Everything,
here.
yes.
Yeah, I like it here.
Beautiful sky now. It's almost a SoCal sky. It's like a painting.
Peach State. That's one thing I didn't get. Well, I've only been here 24 hours, but didn't get a chance to get a peach. Logan O'Hoppe swing and a miss. He's got back-to-back base hits.
It's good to see Christian Moore. He's in the dugout right now for the Halos too. I mean, he's just constantly, he's going to try to learn some things as he tries to get healthy as quick as possible. We had a long conversation with him last night. I mean, it was, I'll tell you what, he is great. He's like a sponge. He absorbs all that information. And we saw him 2 really good at bats last night, a couple walks. His defense at second base has been great. I talked to Ray Montgomery about it. Even Ryan Goins, they're really, really happy with his defense so far. We know the bat plays.
And he was talking about how sore the thumb is. No torn ligaments, no surgery, just 10-day IL. And then you get a little break, right, with the All-Star game in a couple of weeks. See if that also, he's got youth on his side.
Yes.
But still, it's disappointing considering how well he has been playing, doing things that players had never done before, like hitting a game-tying home run, and then a walk-off home run in the same game, like in history. As O'Hoppe strikes out on a splitter.
So cool to see there him and Nolan Shonowell talking together. Those two are going to be right next to each other for a long time in that infield for the Halos, along with Zach Neto at shortstop.
Kind of look at the injury to Yohan Moncada right now and wonder when he can get back to swinging.
Sounds like he's starting to do some things, swinging the bat. Just not a lot of lateral movement right now, but he is swinging the bat in Arizona.
He's swinging the bat from the right side, hopefully. Whoa, watch your lips up the middle. Base hit for Luis Rengifo.
All right, now get that hit. This is a void, Austin Riley.
So Chad Stevens 0 for 3 last time up. It had eyes. It was a base hit. It was destined for left field until Austin Riley dove in front and threw him out at first base.
I almost remember when Zach Neto made his debut up in Fenway, he hit a number of ground balls to third base too before getting that first hit. Boy, Toronto now up 6-3 on the Yankees. Zach Neto with a chance to hit for the cycle.
Chad Stevens, a rookie. He was an 11th round pick in 2021 from the Houston Astros out of Portland University. His parents watching tonight and on their way to Toronto, as he'll be in the lineup. It's important to just, he played last night. Just get him here, get him in a game, get him used to everything, settle the nerves. He's made contact. He's been putting up big numbers for Salt Lake. He's hitting .307, 14 homers, 43 runs driven in. Salt Lake City Bees.
Might get a splitter here. Wonder if he can try to punch that ball the other way. He's got some room on that right side of the infield.
Skip that one in, and Rengifo is going to advance on a wild pitch. So a runner in scoring position. Pick up a base hit and first career RBI.
He's able to lay off that curveball in the dirt, way out in front of the plate.
That's pretty nasty. A tough one for Stevens to handle. He is a strikeout victim, and the score remains 5-0.
He was with Wash the other day. Even when he wasn't here, the two of them always in contact, always talking about baseball, always talking about life. He said he's always even on him, trying to make him better, even when he does the right thing. He's yelling at you even if you do the right thing. So he called him a mentor. He's just the best in baseball. Even more things, even coming around for the offense, how to drive runners in with less than 2 outs, how to make contact. He's on you because he makes you better, guys.
Yeah, exactly right. That play right there, we saw it even with Zach Neto working on that play last year and how good he was coming in on the base. But he wasn't so good initially until Watts got a hold of him on that.
It's obviously disappointing. You know, Ron Washington wanted to be here so badly, but we send our well wishes to Wash, and just know that everybody is thinking about you nonstop here with the team.
So 2 more right there, same spot. Yeah, you know he's watching the game because he loves this game of baseball so much, and he loves this team.
Check swing. Yes, he did. So full count. It's a big pitch here for Soriano. Definitely do not want a leadoff walk.
Some action in the bullpen for the Halos now.
That's hit well and handled at short by Neto.
And
a
job
line
coming
out.
back in that count. Got that play. That's why you have those defenders there. Situated perfectly on that line drive too, to where he was set up. That pitch away.
You'll see left, you know, when a left-hander is at the plate, Neto is going to be right behind the bag. When it's a righty, he's going to be in the hole, and the second baseman is going to get as close to the second bag as possible. Ryan Goins has all of these guys situated with picture cards defensively.
Well, you know, Sean Murphy swinging at that first pitch all the time. He was looking, he saw that hanging knuckle curve, and he chased that.
Right up the middle, Soriano thought about bouncing it off the bag, I think, but still play is made by Stevens.
Nice job by Chad Stevens, just staying under control. That hit towards the base, hit up on him, kept his body straight in front of it to be able to make the play. No panic. Good job by the kid.
Right over the bag.
But he's kept his body straight on it.
That's tough to do, especially if you don't want to eat a baseball.
No.
It's well played, and 2 outs here in the 7th.
That's how good his stuff is. He's getting check swings, back-to-back batters that pitcher weren't really all that close to the strike zone. Actually, 3 of them. He did the same thing against Albies doing that one sinker. That's how impressive this stuff is, even into the 7th inning for Soriano.
In those 3 starts just prior to the one that didn't go well.
Splitter.
Went 7 and 6 2/3. And the last 2 games were against the Yankees and the Astros. Just that one win on the record for him against Houston. A lot of run support and a 9-1 victory. Look at a complete 7. Michael Harris 0 for 2. The 3rd time through here.
Splitter time. You look at his numbers, 305 against Soriano the 3rd time through. So far, so good.
He went to the splitter against the lefty.
Still almost got him to go after that, too.
Pitch number 99. Just off the plate on the knuckle curve, 2-2.
How about that sinker? 98. It was about a foot below the strike zone. He still gets him to go after it. That's how much movement he has on it. Pitch number 198 miles an hour.
66 strikes, so it's 66% strike rate. Oh, and how about it? Way to finish 7 strong for Jose Soriano. Caps off a great night. 7 scoreless with a strikeout.
Oh, nasty 98 again at pitch 101 of the game.
Where did you get these seats?
I got a guy.
You've got a guy. You gotta use Game Time for concert tickets. It's also the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, even at the last minute.
Next.
Right this second, at some movie theater somewhere.
Which one?
Popcorn and...
Someone really wants a soda. But soda's like something you drink on the weekends. And today's only Tuesday.
Soda, please.
Take your time.
Mom!
What if there were a better soda?
Hey, I brought the puppy.
I can see that.
Okay, that was actually kind of easy.
They don't pay me enough anyway.
5 grams of sugar, pass me one. No, I can't. I'm just a voice.
Should've used TickPick.
Wait, what'd you say?
TickPick. Look.
Oh, whoa, dude.
What? There are no hidden fees. What'd you guys think I said?
Oh, TickPick. I thought you said...
As we head to the 8th, Jose Soriano with a little gem here tonight. 7 scoreless innings, only 3 hits with 7 strikeouts and just 2 walks. But we turn our attention now to Zach Neto, who has singled, doubled, and homered, a triple shy of the cycle.
So far playing shallow and left. Pulls it, might have a shot.
Tapped out to the pitcher last time up. Scored 3 runs. Homer with a ribby, a stolen base, playing some good defense. Just a complete game. The superstar, Zach Neto. And he will be an all-star. Had he not missed significant time, this could have been a year for him. And you have numbers on pace for a 30-30 type season.
So many really good, talented young shortstops in the American League, too. And Jacob Wilson got voted in.
Incredible.
You got Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., which is still shocking that Bobby Witt Jr. did not get voted in.
There's a awkward looking chase from Zach Neto on a curve, and he strikes out. So the All-Star game will be right here at Truist Park. And the game is going to be a big one. Certainly action starts the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on July 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then you catch the 95th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on the 15th, 8 p.m. That is on Fox. Joe Adell didn't get asked for the Home Run Derby. That's too bad. Ronald Acuna Jr. will represent the Braves here. Cal Raleigh is going to be, says his dad pitching to him.
That's pretty cool. Yep. Bryce Harper won that the one year, right, with his dad pitching.
That's right. Nolan Shonowell at the plate, and it's 1-1. And Raleigh won that Player of the Month award for the month of June, but I know that Joe Adell got plenty of votes. They never tell us who finished second in those. But with 11 homers in the month, finishing it off with a hitting streak.
He's carried that hot streak into July already.
Yes, he has. And I know you and Wayne talked about it plenty last night. How Kikuchi may have pitched himself into the game, but Taylor Ward, Joe Adell, Zach Neto, Mike Trout, Logan O'Hoppe. There's a lot of players that garner some consideration. These players will be picked on Sunday.
Cal Raleigh's obviously your catcher. Alejandro Kirk, we're going to see this weekend, might be a strong possibility of catching position, but few games left for Logan O'Hoppe. You never know.
Tough play for Cox to make, but he makes it look very easy to get Shonowell at first. And there's 2 down here in the 8th. We saw Jose Fermin warming up. We'd have to think, considering the score, pitch count over 100, that'll do it for Soriano on an excellent night.
Yeah, and you're still, there's always, they're trying to keep him strong. As he tries to go through a full season as a starter. Last year he threw the ball really well as a starter, but ended up being shut down the last month or so.
Yeah, got to 20 starts last year, did Soriano. Sam Bachman also up. Do you think that Sam Bachman could be the righty high leverage until they see what they have with Zephyr John, kind of what kind of situation or slump he's kind of going through?
Yeah, he's got excellent stuff. He can get that fastball too, 97, 99. He's got a wipeout slider though. So there's a strong possibility. His focus right now is going out in attack mode.
Obviously, Ben Joyce at the beginning of the year was, penciled in to be that 8th inning guy, and unfortunately had the shoulder issue and surgery. Robert Stevenson eventually.
He's playing catch right now. We know that.
Get him back in there and see what we have there. It's Mike Trout at the plate. Last 2 at bats, was hit by a pitch and walked and scored last time on the Taylor Ward triple. A little icing on the cake. See if Trout can get a hold of one. Oh! 9 away from a big number for Trout, 400 home runs.
Looking forward that as he gets closer and closer to that 400 mark.
Hit out towards left field, but Profar comes in and squeezes it. Just hung up in the air a little bit too long. Braves coming up, trailing by 5.
I'll give you this brand new
electric vehicle
if you can prove to me you know your finances. How many subscriptions are you paying for?
Just 3.
You sure? Let's download the Rocket Money app right now and see if you're right. It's actually 21 subscriptions, which is costing you around $370 a month.
The app is telling you all this?
Rocket Money shows you all your expenses in one place and even helps you suggest a budget based on your past spending. Don't worry about the 21 subscriptions. You can cancel them right within the app. It'll even try and get you some of your money back.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
And Golick, featuring Mike Golick Sr. and Mike Golick Jr. It's on FanDuel Sports Network. It's all week long, Monday to Friday at noon. They're bringing the heat, bold takes, big personalities, and some of the biggest names in sports. Don't miss the action weekdays at 12 p.m. only on FanDuel Sports Network.
Loving their energy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I'm big fans anyhow, for a lot of reasons, as you would know.
Yeah. Yeah, because, remind me? Oh, because the Eagles. The
Fly.
Eagles, that's
Fly,
right.
Eagles fly, patio.
Was it 44-20? Was that the score of the Super Bowl?
It might have been.
Sam Bachman in the game here in the 8th inning. This is his 8th game of the year. Coming off of his own injury issues.
Really amazing Soriano in his road starts this year. Another incredible effort on it. Now his ERA on the road, 10 starts, 2.47. A full run higher at home. It's really tough to understand how or why that's the case, but he's been unreal on the road.
Could only guess. You know, there's maybe no distractions. A clubhouse where you just show up and go to work. He's always in a great mood. He's extremely loose and happy. Really good young man. And great performance tonight. So from 3-0 to 3-2 to Nick Allen, who walked the last time up and is trying to draw another walk just to try to get something going for this Braves team. They were shut out in the opener of this series, 4-0, and trail 5-0, and caught looking.
That's all over the strike zone, too. He painted 97 back-to-back. Actually, 3 in a row, 97. That was a strike. That was all over the strike zone.
From 3-0 to just working yourself right back.
I mean, his arm angle, the way he throws his fastball, it is like on you.
Yep. And he's got just a filthy slider.
Might see that first pitch here.
Yeah, we saw it off the plate to Acuna Jr. He's got a great opportunity here, Sam Bachman. He's had some injury issues. He was a first-round pick, let's not forget. And coming off of a thoracic outlet syndrome, there's that slider, which is a very tough issue to come back from, and he's 100% healthy right now.
All about his posture and his workout to stay strong, stay healthy.
Puts a lot into his workouts when he's not pitching, in there with the sinker at 98.
That's his paint. Especially after he had to deal with a slider the pitch before, has tremendous spin on it, over 2,700 RPM spin rate on his slider.
That one grounded foul. When you say 2,700 in comparison to league average,
it's around anywhere about 2,500, so well above average. Generally, a curveball spin rate will be a little bit higher.
Muscled up on that one.
So when you have that high of a spin rate, and he says he doesn't always check these metrics on this because he doesn't want to get all caught up in it. He knows if it's working or not. Is it going to have a late break to it?
That's what you want. And if you get swings that pitches aren't necessarily in the strike zone, that late break at the plate, that tells you how good it is.
And that's line to center field on that slider for a base hit for Acuna. Acuna Jr. is aboard. We'll give you a quick word from Jack in the Box.
We killed it with your new Munchie Meal, T-Pain. Pretty much, Jack.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
It's a professional at-bat right there for Acuna Jr.
Yeah, it was a good slider, but it was middle down.
That's right.
It gives him a chance. If it's away, probably doesn't make contact.
Well, here's the big slugging first baseman, Matt Olson. After 7 scoreless from Soriano, Sam Bachman is on to pitch the bottom of the 8th as the Angels are trying to secure this series win here in Atlanta before they head to Toronto.
A 92-mile-an-hour changeup. See, again, it's a good spot down against Olson.
Is that the first changeup he has thrown so far tonight?
Yes.
So he's got the 98 sink, the slider that lives right around 89 with that late break, and then a 92 change.
He's the starter by trade, and you wonder if he will be that, but this might be his role. It's a really big-time role. You see the same thing with Reed Detmers, how he's evolved into this role too.
These two 25-year-olds, one from the left side, one from the right, they can lock down that back end of that bullpen, which, by the way, that's filthy. That's
a great changeup. Wow.
That is awesome. Strikes out Olson for the second out, his second strikeout. That's what wins you games, playoff series, and championships.
Look how little a spin. We talk about spin on sliders. That's a little over 1,700 RPM, so not a lot of spin. You can see the seams on that changeup.
Austin Riley, the batter, with 2 down. Acuna at first. What's his approach on the mound where he sets up on the rubber when he releases the ball?
Well, he's pretty much right in the middle of the pitching rubber, and he drives and stays on that straight plane towards his target. Whew, 99.
That's free and easy, partner. I mean, watching this live, that thing, it explodes out of his hand.
He's straight in the middle on the rubber, and he lands directly that same plane. It's right towards his target.
Did not miss by much.
He was thinking he was getting a slider there too. That's why he was committed to almost going after that at 99.
A lot of guys can throw this hard. It's where you throw it. You don't want to miss in certain spots. Oh, softly hit. O'Hoppe calls him off. Has it, throws him out.
Nice
Sam
play.
Bachman.
All around really good game for O'Hoppe tonight, defensively and swinging the bat.
And communication from O'Hoppe to Bachman. I got it. You did your job. Let me take care of the rest. We head to the 9th. It's 5-0 Halos.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, preventing wood rot and foundation decay, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for 75% off installation plus $200 off your purchase. LeafGuard, get it today. Protected for life.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis, but Sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than old school pills. Plus, tadalafil, the active ingredient in Cialis, stays in your system for long-lasting results. Faster acting and long-lasting? We got you. See if Sparks are right for you at ro.co/sparks.
Join your Angels for Family Sunday, every Sunday home game through July 27th. To check out fun activities in the Gate 5 courtyard. And after the game, kids take the field to run the bases. For a full list of Family Sundays presented by Yakult Probiotic Drink, visit angels.com/promotions. Raisel Iglesias.
Oh, one of our favorites.
Is on to pitch the ninth. The ninth inning has not been kind to Iglesias this year. A 6.94 ERA in the ninth. 18 earned runs, has not allowed a run in any other inning. But 8 consecutive scoreless appearances since June 9th.
He was outstanding with the Halos.
233 career saves. I think I still have a T-shirt at home. Remember the sunflower seeds incident?
Yes.
When he was throwing the. I got that tucked away.
All those great conversations we had with him and in the back of the
we
planes.
had that spot in the back of the plane. That was fun.
With Spicy.
That's right. With Spicy.
Quijada. Still throwing well. Starting to get back to that velocity on his pitches.
Bordeaux strikes out for the first out here of the ninth. And got a little moment here. We'll give you a quick word from Kia. Baseball hammered down the left field line from Joe Adell.
Well, he hits everything hard.
Foul ball. 14-game hitting streaks. Got a single back in the first inning, which currently stand as the game-winning RBI. Pop up center field, and it's going to fall for a knock. Harris broke back. And that's what happens when you're going good. He picks up his third hit of the ball game.
Yeah, when you're struggling, that somehow it comes sliding in and catch it.
That's right.
3 hits on the evening for Joe Adell. Slider right off the end of the bat. And he was frustrated with it too, but you know what? Frustration turns into a smile.
He's 3 for 5, and he's got his batting average up to 250 with a 3 for 5 night off his former teammate Raisel Iglesias. It's Jorge Soler at the plate. It's 5-0 Halos here in the ninth. Win the series. Get back to 500. Be the first series win here at Truist Park, and just the second all-time series win in Atlanta. First since 2005.
Putting it together, that's all that really matters. You can't worry about getting over that yet. You got to get to 500, go from there. But today's a solid all-around game so far.
Yeah, well-played game.
Defense has been great. The pitching off the charts. The offense has been great.
Top of the order.
11 hits in the game for the Halos. Picked up 4 walks, a hit by pitch.
Full count.
They go back to Hyundai Key for the game today. It happened quite a bit. Middle of a memory. A lot of pitches in the middle part of the plate and some damage done.
It's an Atlanta, Georgia legend.
Yes.
You know?
He was pretty thankful. I told him, hey, we're going to use your key to the game today. He goes, really? Oh, thanks a lot, brother. Because he's a huge baseball fan. Cole Swindell and Trouty are besties.
Yeah. So that could be one of your more famous names in the phone.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, for sure.
As far as
besides yours, of course.
Soler strikes out, brings up Logan O'Hoppe, also 2 singles in the game. 2 of those 11 hits. Hoppe and Adell and Neto and Shonowell. Taylor Ward picking up that RBI triple. Trout moving well from first base to score on the triple also.
Yeah.
Well, pitch game from Jose Soriano, who's been lights out on the road.
It's that quick arm release when he throws the baseball. Iglesias from that arm angle, kind of a crossfire delivery.
And that slider gets Logan O'Hoppe. So last chance coming, bottom of the ninth, and the Halos have a 5-0 lead here in Atlanta. Well, stick around after this game for our Angels Live postgame show presented by OC Navigator. Erica Weston and Mark Gubaza will lock it down. I'll stick around, listen to as much as I can. I got to get some sort of cab, got to get back to the hotel, and fly back home. Tomorrow is July 4th. It's Independence Day, so happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy 4th of July to you, Patio, and everyone around the country.
That's right. You're going to be...
By the way, you can always come down and say hi to us down at the postgame show if you like, Patio.
I don't know. So I think they close out the elevators. Or they'd make me go this one particular direction.
We would appreciate a flyby by you down there.
Yeah, well, does it mean on camera time, possibly?
Well, no, just walk by.
Brock Burke is on to finish this one off. And he'll face Ozuna. Profar and Albies due up. 5-0 Angels looking to win the series. Gustavo Capero in the game in right field, replacing Soler. It's a smart decision. Get the big man off his feet. At second base, again, congratulations to Chad Stevens making his MLB debut tonight. And a special moment for Chad and his entire family. And winning is the only thing that matters. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
That's all that matters.
So with Brock Burke on there's Chad on the bump. Might have been about a week ago at home, and he was walking by, and from the back, I have to say I mistook him for Robert Stevens. Both really big, well-built, strong. And I said, hey, are you throwing today? And he turned and he looked at me and goes, huh? And then I said, oh, I'm sorry, Brock. I mistook you. I'm sorry. He goes, relievers are people too. And then he walked off, and I said, I'm so sorry. So if you just wanted to say, Brock, man, you're pitching great. Let's get a punch out here, baby. Big lefty. He's not afraid to take the baseball anytime, is he?
That's a good pitch right there.
Not called. Full count.
A little below the strike zone, though. '39th game this season already for Burke.
And a swing and a miss and a strikeout for the big man.
That's that great changeup he has. Oh, by the way, Patio, I will definitely have some fun with that when I see him on the plate tonight.
They probably should have kept that one to myself.
He might have. Great changeup. Great arm action on it.
It's like Brock Burke likes to set up on that third base side of the pitching rubber. Out towards left field, Taylor Ward turns. Profar has broken up the shutout. He's homered in back-to-back nights, fresh off of his suspension. And the Braves not done yet. It's 5-1.
What a difference he might have been making for this club if he had been there all season long.
They had absolutely no production out of left field. And they just released Alex Verdugo when he came up. They could not figure out anything. They had a negative WAR, defensive run saved, but Profar is back. We'll see if it's going to be too little too late. There's a lot of baseball left.
Yeah, he jumped on a slider there, was elevated. That's just the 4th home run for that left field position all season. He's hit 2 of them in the last couple of games.
Had a big base hit also to kind of get their rally started last night. And they evened up the series at 1. Angels had a 2-0 lead. Couldn't add on. That was the difference. Yusei Kikuchi really was brilliant in his 5 2/3. Gave up those couple of knocks late, taken out of the game with the Christian Moore injury and the 10-minute wait and some heat. But Angels starting pitching has been really good this year. Just turning it over to the next starter. Tomorrow's game will be on Apple. Kyle Hendricks on the bump. Halos back on FanDuel Sports Network on Saturday. Joe Adell is there, and Albies is out. So 1 out away to winning the series. Sean Murphy is up. Kohanowitz Saturday, and Tyler Anderson had pitched great his last time.
Very, very good.
Man,
he was back to where we saw in the beginning part of the season, first month and a half, where he was as good as anybody in the game.
Can't wait to see who you guys pick for your player of the game tonight. A lot of contributions, but off the top, pretty good. It'd be tough to. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait.
You're living on the edge, Patio.
That'll be a nice walk-off interview for Erica. Get you set for the post-game show. It's 0-2, 1 strike away. And a swing and a miss. That's the ball game. 5-1. Halos beat the Atlanta Braves, and more importantly, they win this series.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Win a series, get back to 500. A lot of contributions from the offensive side. Joe Adell, another big game. Logan O'Hoppe, Zach Neto, tremendous game. And Sean Noel. Soriano was unhittable today. His stuff was electric. The Halos win this series down here in Atlanta. Something they hadn't done before in this ballpark.
Jose Soriano picks up the win, another win on the road for him where he has been outstanding, 6-5 on the year. And it's a happy flight going up to Toronto, crossing the border a little bit late, but doesn't matter when you get the win. And Zach Neto, this is fantastic from him. It really was a dominant game.
Yeah, it started off with a base hit, stolen base, double, and then he crushes. That ball almost got out itself. I was off the wall that quickly. Then he goes to dead center field. Running away from that one there. Harris catching everything, couldn't catch that one.
Even though he has to slide feet first, it's not going to prevent him from being the player of the game. So the Halos once again get back to 500, and the Toyota player of the game is standing by with Erica.
Zach, your first 3 plate appearances tonight, you had the single, the stolen base, a double, and a home run. What got into you tonight?
Staying calm. You know, these past couple of days, I've been just trying to get back into the mix of things, trying to get back into my routine, and you know, something was off, and I came in today and I was just like, I'm just gonna chill, be cool, you know, go into today and just be myself. And you know, I started off the game pretty high, and you know, the team was able to pick it up at the end.
Did missing those few days with the shoulder kind of take you out of rhythm at the plate?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you get the day off and you get out of rhythm, you get out of your routine, and everything feels off just by a little bit. You know, even if it might not be the biggest thing, but you know, it's something that'll kind of slow you down or hold you back. And I'm just thankful I was able to get back on track, hopefully, and you know, go into tomorrow in Toronto and keep it going.
Did you know you were a triple away from the cycle?
I did. I mean, I was gonna have to get moving here soon, so but I'm just thankful I was able to come out here and you know, start the game off the way I did, and you know, the team be able to come back and you know, just feed off of it and do what we did today.
You know, the All-Star game is here in less than 2 weeks. Were you campaigning?
No, I mean, I was just playing my game. Just playing my game. You know, it's whatever happens, happens. I just take it day by day.
Last one, Soriano looked unbelievable out there. I know you're very active and busy when he's on the mound. Is it hard not to be a spectator when he's dealing like that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked. I didn't get no ground balls, but I mean, he was on, and when he's doing that and he's on like that, I mean, good luck trying to hit him. And he did an awesome job keeping him off balance and throwing strikes, and we were just there behind him to help him out.
Great job. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys.
Eric, appreciate that. And Zach Neto, a big game. We'll campaign for the All-Star game for number 9, Zach Neto. This one was a nice tidy 2 hours and 24 minutes. A great job by Soriano. Thanks to Mark Gubaza as well. Stick around. We'll be right back. Final score from here in Atlanta, Truist Park. Halos 5 and the Braves won a series win for your Angels. Back on Saturday as the Angels take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. right here on FanDuel Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Angels Live Post presented by OC Navigator with Erica Weston and Mark Gubaza is next. I'm Patrick O'Neill saying happy 4th of July. We'll see you next time.
ATL tonight for the Halos securing a series victory in Atlanta against the Braves as we welcome you to Angels Live postgame presented by OC Navigator. 5-1 the final score. Halos win a big series here in Atlanta. We welcome you back inside Truist Park alongside Mark Gubazat, Erica Weston with you. So close to the shutout, but you take the series victory.
Yeah, you do. I mean, especially after that tough loss against the Nationals at home. You come down here to Atlanta and win a series, pitch extremely well. And all three games, really, the starting pitching was very, very good. The hitting was really on time today with the power numbers for Shauna Wow. And then Neto hit a home run there. You know, it's a balanced Joe Adell, 14-game hit streak. But Soriano really set the tone there. And Logan O'Hoppe did a great job with him behind the plate today.
Great night for Logan overall, too. But Jose Soriano tonight, Gooby, another bounce-back performance where he looked unhittable. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts tonight.
Remember what we talked about today? If he has that knuckle curve working in the field for it, he was going to be locked in. His sinker was 99. They were swinging that sinker out of the strike zone, but that knuckle curve difference maker, 7 strikeouts in the game, 101 pitches. He was dominant throughout the entire game, and again, kept the ball in the ballpark on the road. 2.47 ERA in 10 starts on the road this season. That's hostile territory, yet he's dominant on the road, which is great to see.
He had that look on his face again, but we said it in the first inning. He's got it.
There's Travis d'Arnaud.
You can't walk across, right?
Yes, you can. You can say.
Go for it, Trav.
Perfect timing on that one.
That's perfect. He was unbelievable tonight, but Joe Adell, he got the scoring started. Shocker, because that's what he's been doing lately and extended his hit streak.
Incredible. 14-game hit streak. I mean, he's staying on. I love that little balance he has on at the plate. Just a little bit of a leg kick, gets that foot down. His timing has been great. Using the big part of the field. That's what he's been hitting the baseball on a consistent basis, and that's great to be able to see him do that every single time. 3 more hits in the game for him, even including a little flare in the outfield that fell in nicely for him.
3-hit night. It's great to see for Joe Adell. There are a lot of contributors as far as the offense goes tonight, Gooby, but what a night for Zach Neto, who has been grinding a little bit with that shoulder, and he just kind of put it all together tonight.
It felt like his timing was just off a little bit. I love what he said to you in the postgame. He's just relax and have fun. Sometimes when you grip the bat, try to hit the ball 500 feet, you're not going to do that. And he started right away. Base hit. I love the fact he mixed in the stolen base right away. That double was a line shot off the wall, and then he hits a home run to right center field, showing that power. Great to see all-around game. He made some solid plays defensively. It's good to see him, seeing the smile on his face, how important he is for this team to be successful.
He is maybe the most important player for this team to be successful moving forward. Nolan Shawnowell, as predicted. How do you do it, by the way? How do you do it?
Shawnowell.
How do you do it? As predicted, he homered in this one tonight.
I just felt against Elder because he throws that changeup and slider, getting it in his zone and see if he can be able to get a hold of one. And he crushed that ball center field, 103 off the bat again.
Shawnowell. I wasn't sure where you were going to go. Shawnowell. For the 6th time this season, though, I think this is pretty cool. Nolan and Neto both homered in the same game, so there's something there.
And these guys are going to be part of this infield for a long, long time. We saw Christian Moore in the dugout today with a little bit of a smile on his face. He's going to be part of this future, but when you have that cornerstones in your infield like this, teams that are good for periods of time have that same core in that infield, and those two have been great. They did it again tonight with 2 home runs.
Love to see Chad Stevens having some friends or family here welcoming him for his MLB debut. Got a Rocket City Trash Pandas t-shirt on over there.
And he flew all the way across the country to get here for this game today. He made some really solid defensive play. By the way, isn't Austin Riley supposed to be a nice guy? You said he was a nice guy.
I just love that Wash was probably watching me like, sorry, kid, like I taught him how to do that sort of thing. Yeah.
Hit the ball well, but he made some good plays. But I love his defensive skills out there. He's working out early with Ryan Goins, just making sure he stayed down on the baseball, and he did throughout the whole game.
All right, stick with us. More post-game reaction ahead. The Angels pick up a big series win tonight. And now they'll head north of the border to keep things rolling against the Blue Jays. We'll preview that series next. Angels win 5-1 and win the series against the Braves. Angels Live on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org.
Angels.
Angels Live is presented by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. By the way, 58 RBI for Taylor Ward on the season.
A triple, now giving him 42 extra base hits. 42. Incredible.
What a year he's put together. He's certainly worthy of being back here in a week and a half. All right, let's take a look at the upcoming probables for the next series this weekend up in Canada. Kyle Hendricks, Jack Kahanowitz, Tyler Anderson going against the Jays.
Yeah, they're facing some tough pitchers for the Jays, and they're playing really well. They're hitting the ball extremely well. But, you know, when you see the pitching performances like we saw all 3 games here in Atlanta, you'll be able to carry that on. Kyle Hendricks going against the Jays. Same thing with Jack Kahanowitz. I expect a big game out of him, too. And Tyler Anderson was exceptional his last time out there. The feel for his pitches, I expect him to do really well again.
Well, by the way, Kyle Hendricks still here with the crew. He wants to be with the team. He did not fly ahead to Toronto because he wants to be one with his guys. He's a gamer.
I do like that
You
one.
love that.
I love that because I never, ever flew ahead.
Yeah.
No, I always stay because I'm with the fellas.
He's old school.
Yes,
yeah.
he
I don't
is.
even
Yes,
know
he
that I would call that old school. He just wants to be with the guys.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, this was a big series when the Angels needed that. They're back at 500 once again.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way, especially today. I mean, they played well in this entire series. They let that ball game get away yesterday, but they played a complete game here today. Defense was great. The pitching was off the charts. The offense was great. They picked up 4 more walks, too, which you were starting to see more and more of that. And you felt a sense of urgency putting it together against a team right now in Atlanta. They're not playing real well, but they showed some signs yesterday that they can be that team again. But they shut them down with Soriano with great stuff today.
Yeah, there was no letdown after that tough one last night, and then the injury news today with Christian Moore will be out a couple weeks, hopefully, for the Angels. But they certainly put it all together here tonight. Thanks for joining us for Angels Live post-game. The Angels win the series here in Atlanta before heading north of the border for 4th of July weekend in Canada, because why not? Why wouldn't you? Yeah, great night for Zach Neto, a triple shy of the cycle tonight, picking up his 13th home run of the season. We'll be back with you on Saturday for Game 2 against the Blue Jays from Toronto.